sometimes I get caught up just while watching and
Yeah.
me.
It's just like on this and I'm like or whatever, like at the end of the game. Not the thing.
Oh, sleep it.
Yeah. It won't be the end of the world.
Yeah, that's kind of my point.
Yeah, 39-40. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, ladies, we're going to take a group picture of you on round 53, 54.
Old, you're so old. Well, I'm not as old as you, but thank you. You haven't bowled this many games. You haven't bowled this many games. But not in the last 3 days. Oh, by the way, I can do a standing lunge on both sides. Who are we looking at?
Everywhere.
Okay.
Don't ask me. It's probably going to be terrible.
Stare at Tyler. I just stared at Tyler the entire time.
So bad.
We're talking. Okay, thanks, sir.
Okay, we're going to start with O Canada, if I can get you all to rise.
Start singing.
Oh, Canada, terre de nos aïeux,
You see all the
en français, de fleurs en glorieux, par ton bras c'est porter le pays, il sait porter la voix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for you. Oh,
Okay, so good morning. Here's, we got the top 12 men and the top 12 ladies. And this morning you're gonna bowl 5 games and then a position round for the 6th game. Step ladder will be set up as quick as possible after that. The men's step ladder will be 49 and 50, and the women's step ladder will be 51 and 52. The leader will determine the pattern for the step ladder. Presentation for the team will follow immediately after that, and it will be in the area of 49, 50, 51, 52. And I'll give you Guillaume.
Bon matin, chers skieurs, chères skieuses. Bienvenue à ce dernier bloc de 6 parties, le top 12 chez les hommes, chez les femmes. Vous allez commencer d'abord par 5 parties. Il y aura une courte pause pour jouer la 6e qui sera un position round. Donc les joueurs seront placés en ordre de position. Ensuite, le top 3 va s'affronter dans une finale PBA Step Ladder. Les hommes sur les allées 49-50, les femmes sur les allées 51-52. Le leader, la personne terminant en première position, aura l'opportunité de déterminer le patron qui sera utilisé pour la grande finale et ainsi déterminer le podium. La présentation des nouvelles équipes sera faite immédiatement après, dans le même coin, c'est-à-dire les allées 49 à 52. Juste avant de débuter la pratique, je vais donner le micro à Chris qui va nous présenter les 12 finalistes sur chacune des allées. Just before starting practice, I will give the mic to Chris and he will introduce the top 12 bowlers on each side.
Okay. First off, I'm going to do the shift 4 leaders. For the men, it was Mitch Hupe with a score of 1453. And for the women, it was Miranda Panis with a score of 1353. So if you come to 45-46 for your photo. Okay, we'll start with the men. So on lane 39 and 40, we have Darren Alexander, Nicholas Blagojevich. You just step on the approach if you can for a sec, please. 41-42, we have Israel Potter and Sly Young. (43-44), we have Graham Faw and Kevin Maurice. 45-46, we have Mitch Hupe and Adam Jordan. 47-48, Zach Wilkins, Francois Lebois. 49-50, Christopher Gilleritz and Jordan Jung. So this is your top 12 men bowling in shift 5. And then we'll do the ladies. 51-52, we have Maid Yen LaChapelle and Miranda Panis. 55-56, we have Maya Conway and Jessica Lee. 57-58, we have Jennifer Bazana and Jade Cote. 59-60, we have Christine Johnson and Cody McMaster. 61-62, we have Alexandre Auclair and Karine Bouchard. And 63-64, we have Edelyn Besana and Felicia Wong. This is your top 12 ladies that are going to be bowling on shift 5. Congratulations. Okay, your lanes will be coming on in a few moments for 15 minutes of practice. 8 minutes of practice, sorry. You get 8 minutes of practice when the lanes come on. Good luck and good bowling.
La pratique va maintenant débuter. Vous avez 8 minutes à l'écran. Et pour ce qui est de la rotation sur des allées, bien important, vous allez suivre la rotation qui est sur votre feuille de comptage. 8 minutes of practice, and in terms of lane rotation, make sure that you follow the lane rotation. There is a recap sheet. It is something different. It's not what goes left, right, goes right. You have to follow what you have to follow. Thank you. Good luck, everyone. Bonne chance à tous.
All right, good morning, everybody. We're here bright and early, 8 a.m., live from Laurentian Lanes here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada at the 2025 CTF Canadian Team Trials. It is day 3, the final day. Top 12 men and top 12 women.
Thank you for tuning in. My name is Kurt Ridgewell, here with Jeff Kovac, and we're ready to bring you all the action. We have our final 12 bowlers. 6 men and 6 women will be making Team Canada after this shift. There will be a step ladder for the top 3 following that. So we're looking for a big day. The men's scores are pretty large. So right now, looking at 5th place in the men's, got a score of 54.06, but 9th place is 51.49. So it's over 250 pins between 5th and 9th. So those bowlers outside of the top 6 right now are going to have a really big day and put up some really good scores. And these are the best bowlers in the country, and I can't wait to see the moves that are made.
Yeah, it is a pretty big gap. You know, you cut to the top 12, but like you say, Graham Fa, he's been leading. He's 56.92, and 12th place Sly Young right now is 51.17. So there's a pretty big gap there. I'm not saying it can't be done, but these the bowlers on the lower end of the 12, they really have to have a huge block here.
Yeah, those scores are really top heavy for those guys there. So even Jordan Jung, 1 spot out of the top 6 right now, is 90 pins back. But he did finish his day yesterday with a perfect 300 game. So another one of those would certainly help him out.
Yes, it would. So now over to the women's side, you know, Felicia Wong, she has led from game 1. The whole tournament, 51.67. In 2nd place behind her, Miranda Panis, 50.80. She has closed that gap a little bit, but we'll see. And we've mentioned it before, the last 2 team trials here, Miranda Panis has walked away victorious with that gold medal. So it's going to be interesting to see. We keep an eye on those 2 if Miranda ends up catching her. Or, I mean, really, she just has to make the step ladder.
Yeah, give herself a chance there.
And get there, so...
Yep, so Miranda led the squad yesterday afternoon. That's how she closed that gap a little bit. I believe when Miranda did win last year, she was the 2 or 3 seed. going in and won it all. So being the 1 seed will help you in that step ladder later today because you will get to pick the pattern. One of the 5 that we used this week will be your choice.
Yeah, definitely an advantage there. I think there could be a little strategy as well. Maybe more on the men's side. I'm not sure how the women would view it. If Felicia is leading, she might choose that route as well because sometimes, I mean, you might not pick the pattern that you bowled the highest on as the leader. You might look through the scores and see who else bowled and bowled the worst on the pattern. And you might pick that pattern because you know they didn't have a good day on it, and you might figure, hey, I'm a shot maker, I can make my spares, I can string together a couple strikes and it might be beneficial. So there definitely might be a little bit of strategy when it comes to that.
Oh, there certainly is. So looking more lower down on the scores for the women, if we go to 5th place, the score is 49.06, and down to 9th is 47.61. So 145 pins, so it's a little tighter on the women's side. I'm expecting to see a lot of movement up and down the standings throughout our 6 games this morning. Yeah, a little tighter on the women's side with the scores than we have on the men's side. It's going to be a very exciting day, and we're excited to bring you guys all the action.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention there. I was typing something here in the chat.
That is all right. So as you see in front of us, the guys are practicing right now. They're going to get 8 minutes. Looks like they have just over 2 minutes left here. And then we're going to get underway. Should be a quick morning as we only have 1 bowler per lane, so 2 bowlers a pair. This is not match play, so there is no bonus for wins. It's just total pinfall. And
yeah, so, and if you have been tuning in, same kind of stream setup as usual. We got 3 cameras here. We do have 2 on the men's lane, just where we're set up. That's the only way we could do it. So we've got 2 cameras on the men, covering 4 pairs, and we're covering 2 pairs over on the women's side. But we're going to be trying to update the scores. And I just want to get back to the chat here. What is the step ladder format? So it's only the top 3. 3 will bowl 2. And then the winner of that will bowl the leader. And they will have to beat the leader twice to win. If the leader wins right off the bat, then I believe then that's it.
That's it.
If the leader wins once, it's over. So it could be a little bit challenging there. And
yeah, so it's a double advantage for being the leader after this squad because not only do you pick the pattern, but you have to lose twice.
Right. Yeah. So the leader has an advantage. Here in the chat too, we've got saying that, this might be the strategy for Felicia if she stays in that number 1 spot. On shift 2, she was almost 100 pins ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
So, I kind of mentioned the other way, whereas if you're close, you might pick the pattern where the other person is. But if you have one of these patterns, like mentioned in the chat, where Felicia was 100 pins higher than everybody else, I think that's probably, if she is leading, that might be her choice as well. It's a strategy.
Yeah, we don't know what patterns our leaders will pick because we are not yet sure who our leaders will be. But yeah, nonetheless, when it comes down to the strategy, it's not necessarily you want to pick the pattern that you are the best on. You may want to look and see, oh, my opponents that I'm bowling were lower in the standings and I did okay on that. And you think that might give you an advantage when it comes to that.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, I mean, again, that comes down to who the leader is and what their view is. But we'll see when that happens. And there is no re-oil between matches. So the leader picks the match. It gets underway, and that's what it's going to be when they get to the final match as well.
So good morning, everybody. We see all your messages here. Hello, Art. We have Stephanie Vitaro, one of our bowlers this week. Good morning.
Thanks for tuning in. We got John in there. 2 gentlemen have warmed up for mornings. Thank you. I'm actually warm this morning. I brought a hoodie today. It was a little chilly in here yesterday, but
yes.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. Okay, so we have wrapped up practice here. We're about to get underway.
So how long is the pattern today? Can we quickly just pull up the pattern so we can show everyone what they're bowling on this morning?
I completely forgot. So here is the pattern. Day 3, shift 5. So it's an interesting one. 45 feet, 26 mils of oil, 3.32 to 1, but it has that block. Like it's sometimes you describe some of these little blocks down lays as like speed bumps, but this is like it's just a block of oil from what is it, maybe 17 feet to 30 28 feet, somewhere in there, and it's just a block of oil, and then heavy in the middle, and then buffed down to 45 feet. So with having 2 people on a pair here, not too sure what to think. It might not break down as if, you know, you had 4 people on shift and it was a full squad bowling on it, but it's still, I think it's going to be challenging.
Yeah, I do believe it's going to be a challenging pattern with that block you see there. I'm expecting a lot of the bowlers to start quite right, and I think any shot missed to the right probably won't get back to the head pin. We'll have to see as we are just getting underway here. So our bowlers are now in their first frame, and we are getting started.
Yeah, just like we've been doing, we're going to stay a couple frames on the women, hop back down to the men. We'll rotate through them. Like I say, it's probably going to be changing fairly quickly here with just 2 bowlers on a lane. I know some people in the chat were a little upset that they were changing so quickly, but we'd like to kind of cover everyone. I don't want to keep the camera on one pair and have other things going on the other camera. So we'll try and cover as much as we can.
Maya Conway leaving a little baby split there, wearing her Southern Ontario provincial jersey, looking to trade that in this week for a National Team Canada jersey.
Yeah, so it looks like 55, 56, we've got Maya Conway, Jessica Lee. On 57 and 58, we've got Jennifer Bassana, who was last year's gold medal champion. And on lane 58, we have Jad Cote. And I did pin that results link at the top of the chat. You can click that. We're hoping things update quicker today. If they don't, I'm going to have Guillaume print them out and hand them to me as soon as he hits upload on the scores to that, because yesterday, actually all tournament, it's been taking quite some time to update. Not sure what the bug is in there, but we'll get the scores printed out so we can bring them to you. Yeah, so it is a bit of a weird pattern. If you did happen to follow the USA team trials a couple days ago, on day 3 of theirs, which would have been Sunday, they bowled on something similar. But when they bowled on it, they were bowling, you know, a full shift, you know, 4 or 5 bowlers on a pair. Where here we've only got 2 guys on a pair, 2 guys and 2 ladies on a pair.
Yeah, so the transition will certainly be different.
Yeah. You know, and that's the thing, you look some of the times, you see, oh, here's this pattern, and you find a, you know, we talked about it the other day, you find a YouTube video and you can see kind of where guys are playing and all this, but you can't really compare when you've got 5 guys on a pair versus 2 on a pair.
Yeah, for sure. Plus, bowling on the oil pattern in a different house with different oilers, it's completely different.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to watch Jennifer Bassana on 58 throw her second frame here, and then we're going to switch back to the men. On this first featured pair of men, we're going to have Francois Lavoie and Zach Wilkins, and Chris Gutierrez and Jordan Jung. So we've got the starting, although it's not match play, they're just on the pair, but we'll call it the battle of the PBA guys, and we've got the battle of JR Pro Shop.
Here's Jen on 58, and gets down, knocks that 4 out of there.
Yeah, so Zach picks up the 10 pin, and Zach hasn't cared for this pair on 47 and 48 due to the lane breakdown and lane shift jump, the way their pairs worked out. Unfortunately, it got a little messed up, and I think he hit this pair 3 times.
Yeah,
over 4 shifts.
Yeah, he hasn't had the best games on this pair. We have seen him here throughout the week, and talking with him this morning, he says he's glad he's starting on this pair and not bowling here near the end.
Near the end, yeah. I think that one, the first time he hit this, I think he had like a 180 game. Everything else was 2-0 or 2-teen on it.
Yeah.
But But then again, you got a different pattern. We don't know if that was the way the lanes play, or if it was the way the pair was broken down the pattern. But yeah, he said he's kind of happy he's starting here.
On lane 50 now, Jordan Jung on a double.
Oh, 410. That was a little bit of a weird lead for that light hit.
Yeah. So he may have gotten that one down a little early.
Yeah, and that's one thing too, is we had with practice, we had Francois here and we had Zach. Francois hit that, is that a gem?
Yeah.
He hit that with some surface just before practice, and Zach was throwing some surface, and they were playing right up 10 or so, right up the track. I think they had a kind of strategic surface breakdown in practice, trying to move some of the oil around.
Yeah, when these guys bowl at the highest level, they really know what they're doing, and they strategize together of how to get the best scores out of the pair. Frankie up again here on 47.
He pulled that one. Yeah, through the face. Okay, Jordan Jung stepping back up here on 49 after that open. On this pair, last game of yesterday, if you didn't tune in, go back, watch it. Rolled the third 300 of the tournament. It was a good one.
Yes, that ball just never recovered.
Yeah, on 50, he pulled the one in a little bit. Or no, he hit light on that one. When he 410 there, it was light as well, and then that one he just got it out. And you mentioned too, I think you're right. You get it out there, it's not going to recover.
Yeah, it's just so flat with that block there that it's just not coming back. So go, cleans it up.
We got Austin Ducharme in the chat. Sleeper pick, Israel crawls his way into the top 6.
Yeah, that could absolutely happen.
You know, he's still about 200 and, something out. So here on the men, we're going to stick here for 2 balls each, and then we're going to flip back. Is he on? Yeah, we do have him on the next view. So stay tuned. We'll have Israel on in a second. Yeah, and you guys say, he's not a sleeper, but sleeper pick he is to everyone else other than us. I have talked about him quite a bit over the last couple days. I'm from Ontario. I have seen his name quite a few times through the CTF announcements and that. I'm sure there is a lot more to his bowling and game than you see in those announcements.
Zach didn't like that one.
Yeah, he pulled that one. So I am just looking around really quick. I'm not seeing anybody on a string of strikes. So nobody so far is really putting anything together. Kurt, if you were at the top, if you were Graham, I don't want to say even the top 3, Graham, Mitch, Zach, are you in the mindset that, okay, you're looking around, no one's really stringing it together? Do you just cruise control and be, okay, we just grind this out, we make our spares, do the best we can? Or are you...
Sure, I mean, if they feel comfortable kind of with the pins gap that they have, but they know that any of these guys can pop off a massive game where if they struggle and get say a 180,
yeah,
another bowler pops off for a 240, you just lost 60 pins.
Yeah, that's true.
So these bowlers are going to do everything in their power to put up the best games they can.
Okay, we're going to watch Frankie throw this ball. Once he throws, I'm going to switch back down to the other pair. We'll see who we got down there.
Looks good.
Yeah, see, Frankie, he's holding it in tight. He's not getting it out too far. He's not getting it past that down lane tracer on the outside. keeping it in the oil, that's for sure.
So here on 41, we have Sly Young. Yeah, he didn't like that one off his hand and pays the price with the 410.
Yeah, so lane 39 and 40, we've got Darren Alexander and Nicholas Blagojevich. On 41 and 42, we've got Israel Potter and Sly Young.
Just the 4-pin for Nick.
Yeah, and as you can see, Sly, Nicholas, they all have one of their Team Canada jerseys on. They're matching today. Does Darren have one of his on?
No,
I did not. No. Okay, so those two guys are matching. And then we've got Israel Potter here coming up. So you can see 43 and 44 kind of off to the side. We're not covering those patterns on camera. But with these guys moving around, 6 games here, we'll be covering everybody. And if we get down to where that 6th position, 6th, 7th is going to be close, it'll probably be on 45 and 6. Somewhere in there. I can always turn the camera when we get to that 6th position round and keep an eye on those guys if there is one of those tight races to make the team. So this is game 1 of 6. We're going to have 5 games, and then the 6th is going to be a position round. With only having 12 bowlers, it should not take very long to figure that out. Oh.
Blagojevich breaking it up. Looked like that was going to be a split. Did it strike? Did that 10 go down too? I don't know. I think we'll have to see. Here's Israel Potter. With the strike. He puts a lot on the ball. Up now on lane 40, our leader after day 1, Darren Alexander. Didn't have the greatest of days yesterday. Still staying within the top 6. He's currently sitting in 5th position. Looking to bounce his way up into that step ladder to defend his title as our Canadian champion.
Yeah, he still has some ground to make up. He's, okay, Zach 55.43, Darren's 54.06. So he's 130 pins or so out. So he's got a little bit of ground to make up if he wants to make that step ladder.
There are no bonus pins this round. It's not a match play. We are just taking total pinfall.
Yeah.
Continuous pinfall, so it's just adding to the scores of all week.
Yeah. Yeah, so 5 games, and then they just seed them in the order for the final round. And then after we're done the 6th game, there is going to be a short break, which we will cut off this video. We will start a new video. It's already up on the upcoming streams. We will cut that over, and then the finals will be on its own video along with the ceremony and presentation afterwards. All right, watch another ball here, and then we'll head back. So what's the point of the position round? I can honestly not tell you. Like I said, we're just here streaming. That's the way they have it set up.
Here's Sly. We always have some Sly fans in the chat, and
we actually have some Sly fans that drove from the Toronto area up here to watch him today, just because he made the cut.
Yes, Stephanie Adams, who has been in our chat all week, has arrived today to watch Sly.
Yeah, it's always good when you have some good friends in the bowling community that come out and support you. You get to the bowling alley, you turn around, your friends are there. It's always a good time. You know, so we are pretty early here. We're up to 155 viewers. It always has been a little slow in the morning. Yeah, position around not required in open and sorts. I kind of agree, Jay. I'm not exactly sure why they do it. But like I said, we're just here streaming, just bringing the action, commenting the way we see it as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
thanks, John. Yeah, so we got 150 of you watching us right now. Please press that like button. We really appreciate it. So YouTube can help push this live stream out to others so they can tune in and watch along with us.
Yeah, so just looking at the women's scores here we've got on the featured pair. Looks like Jennifer Bassana has a decent game going here. See a couple splits, a couple opens.
Yeah, looking around, most bowlers have an open at some point. Lots of splits out there. There are some good scores off our camera pairs. The first pair of women here, we have Mayen LaChapelle with a couple of spares and a few strikes out there. She's stepping up for her 9th frame now. Looks like she's able to put up a big score here. Adam Joden, our lone youth team member that has made the final day here. Started with the front 4, and he does have an open in there, but he's starting to strike once again. Jade Cote shooting her spare. Picks it up.
Yeah, I guess that too. If you are close, you get to see your closest opponent on the final game. That's kind of my view of it too. When everybody is seated in the order they're in, you know, and you're beside that guy, because really here, the numbers we're going to be looking at are top 3 and the 6th and 7th spot, or somewhere in there, depending. I mean, yesterday we had a surprise where someone bowled really horrible, dropped out the last game, but it's nice to have those guys together instead of having one guy on lane 39 and one guy on 50. You can still see what's going on.
Yeah, if our 3rd and 4th place bowlers, you know, are really close to making that final step ladder spot, it's probably better that they bowl together on the same pair instead of one of them, you know, possibly being on a pair that's a little easier.
Yeah, and Chelsea, I've linked the pattern in the info of the video. I had it on the chat earlier. It's definitely a tricky pattern. It's from, I think, 17 to about 28, or 14, 15 to 28. It just has a big block of oil. It's a very large speed block of oil. So it's definitely playing pretty tricky.
Jennifer Bassana here, our defending champion. Missing on the head pin there. I'm seeing that quite a bit.
Yeah, okay, is Graham the only lefty? Francois Darren, Nicholas Jordan. Is Kevin Maurice? He's right-handed, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Israel's right-handed. Adam Joden, he's right-handed. Sly's right. So yeah, it looks like Graham is the only lefty in the men's side.
Jen with first spare. Gets the 3 up front, just leaves the 10 for an open.
All right, let's come back here to Zach and Francois. Francois is looking like he had a pretty good lineup here until the last couple frames. This is the second. He's had a challenge on this left lane.
Jordan Jung throwing a strike in the 9th. Oh, and he just wraps it right around it.
So that's going to be a 163 for Francois. He is not happy about that. That left lane really got him. I don't think he struck. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he did not strike on the right lane and split 3 times for a 160. And you can understand the frustration on that.
Zach just leaving the 4 pin. He's actually going to have one of his best games on this pair. If he can clean this up, he should be able to get to the 220s.
Yeah, someone said Frankie's first game on that pair. It is possible. I don't think we saw.
Yeah, I know he's hit 49 and 50.
I think he hit it twice. Maybe that was a pair. Zach. So Zach hit this one a couple times, and Francois hit 49 and 50 a couple times.
Jordan Jung getting his first strike there in the 10th frame. He's looking to strike out here to salvage a 190 game.
So it looks like Zach's going to the bag.
Yeah, he's going to try another piece here before he heads to his next lane assignment.
So JD going to head to the center after the stream, get some practice in at the center in Hanover. So have you been bowling, Jay? Or have you taken some time off and now making a return? If you are, you should hit up my brother and tell him he needs to get back at it.
Jung leaving the 3-6. He picked this up here for 194. Just won 193 for Jordan Jung. Zach Wilkins finishes with a 221.
All right, we'll watch Goots finish his. And we'll catch the 10th frame of those guys just finishing up. Yeah, JD making a comeback. I've already told Jay he needs to make a comeback as well. Yeah, do it. Keep bugging him. Okay, so who is that? Israel Potter, 258.
Nicholas Blagojevich stepping up here, 10th frame.
Oh,
Didn't
got
like
a
that
luck
one.
and
Breaks up the split.
Yeah, knocked the 2-pin over. All right, Goots on the 3-bagger. We weren't on that view when we were talking.
Oh.
I had it switched. I thought I was there, but I wasn't. Yeah, your sleeper pick, 258 out of the gate. We're going to watch Goots here. He's got one more. He's just stepping on the approach. And then we'll flip back and see those scores.
And a 9 count. So he's going to finish with a 221 for Goots. Good start.
Yeah, so even though with the score on the right, Israel was 258. I'm not sure who was with him.
Sly.
Was it Sly? Yeah. Okay, what do we got there? Who is...
So Nicholas Blagojevich here on 39.
He's coming up light, not getting that ball around the corner. So he's is that 219? No, 210. So Darren, okay, what's he got there? Is that 133 in the 7th? So you can go off for 223. It looks like. So those are kind of the moves we're talking about when you have, especially guys like Israel shoots 258. You know, Frankie shoots 160. And he's 710s.
Yep, that is unfortunate on the double.
Yeah, John, with Frankie having 2 majors, very tough conditions, wouldn't mind this. Yeah, well, the pattern, I mean, the majors are tough patterns as well. But then, oh my God. It went in front of the 7-pin.
Wow.
Okay, let's come back over here to the women. So we got Jad Cote 172, Jennifer Bassana 192, Jessica Lee is that 196?
198.
198.
And Maya Conway is just finishing up here.
Yeah. But that back to Frankie and the tough patterns in that. 47 and 48. We'll talk about Zach for a minute. Zach hit that pattern. He went 180, I think 2-0, 2-10, and 220. Didn't have a very game. The first time he hit that pair, he struggled. And someone mentioned we think that's Frankie's first time on that pair. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but you know, he did not strike on the left lane. He split 3 out of 5 frames on it. And I think he's going to be happy just to move on from it.
Yep. Maya Conway picking up her spare. That's a 185 game for her.
Yeah. And so I did get handed a sheet here. Someone was asking about the tournaments. So right now, whoever makes this adult team, right now confirmed only is going to be the World Championships in Hong Kong, November 26th to December 5th. There are going to be more. They haven't got the schedule and decided which ones they will be going to, but right now, the World Championships in Hong Kong, those are a lock-in. The youth team will be doing the Pan Am Zone Championships in Guatemala, August 9th to the 17th. Even though they are not here, they are not qualifying at this event. The Senior Masters, the 50-plus team only, will be doing the World Championships in Reno in October. So as I mentioned, those are just tournaments that are confirmed. There will be more to it. I'm sure once the team's picked and the schedule's figured out, there will be more, but that's what's confirmed.
All our bowlers now relocating to their next lane assignment. Looks like we're still going to have Francois Lavoie here in front of us as he moves over to lane 49. And
He's split.
He's split here in first. He's bowling with Adam Joden on lane 50. And on the other pair in front of us, we have Darren Alexander on 47 and Mitch Huppé on 48.
You know, so far, Francois is not liking the left lanes.
See how Darren Alexander does on this tough pair here. Leaves just the 4 pin.
Yeah, a little bit high.
Oh, Adam gets them all to go. Not the prettiest way, but we will take it. Goes the pretty pink spare ball, and he cleans up the 4 pin.
What that spare ball he's throwing? It looks like there's a. It almost looks like a pool, like cue ball.
Like because he has a logo. And it has the Jopo Grips logo. He's a member of the team Jopo Grips, as you can see, plastered all over his jersey as well.
Okay. All right,
Joden breaking up the split.
Yeah, got Mitch Huppé. Mr. Smooth and Effortless. Just
And
like
he
that.
blows it up.
Okay, so the Masters team had determined, so they qualify at the Canadian Mixed Championships, which I believe is in Winnipeg in June. They changed that. I believe it was last year was the first year that they changed it.
Yeah.
And again, we're just here streaming. We don't work for CTF, even though we're on the CTF YouTube page. We're just handling the streaming. We don't know the ins and outs and the workings just like we see it. All right, let's go, Mitch. This is a little bit of a weird, yeah, he looks
I
like
think
he's
he had a
stuck.
little approach problem, yeah. Does not matter, ball still strikes. Frankie gets that one in the pocket. Can't get the 10 out on it.
Yeah, JD, too bad the bowlers couldn't get the topography graph. And honestly, I don't know if anyone in the area has the equipment to actually read the topography and make the graphs. I'm not even sure how that's done.
Beautiful shot, Darren Alexander. Yeah, I'm not sure about.
If someone in the chat has ever seen it done or know how it's done, I'm sure there's almost like a machine that almost probably like the Oiler is.
Yeah,
A lot
scans
smaller,
the line.
I'm sure, but goes down the lane and measures the heights. But I've never seen it done. If anyone in the chat knows how it's done, let me know. Okay, we're going to watch Darren throw here, and we'll watch Frankie throw one more on this left lane, and then we'll go back down to our other pair. It looks like the women's lanes currently turned off for a minute. So they might have a shot
Yes,
from Darren.
Darren gets them all to go.
Yeah, the
Looking to
women,
bounce back as he finished his last game with that 7-10 split.
yeah, the women's might have a name issue. They might be resetting that so the names are in there correctly. There, Frankie's first strike on the left lane of this block. All right, so we got Sly, see Sly there.
Looks like Sly started on a double and then just made his spare. We're also going to have Graham Faw, Kevin Maurice.
Yeah, I thought that was Kevin. So lane 40, Graham Faw. I'm not sure what he shot the first game. He was on one of those middle pairs, but he is, at least coming into this, the tournament leader.
Yeah, we talked with Graham yesterday after our final block of the day, and Graham was saying he threw, wow.
He's deep.
He is deep. So Graham was saying he basically threw urethane all day. I think he has thrown it the whole tournament, and it's worked for him. But he did have a feeling today that would not be the play.
Yeah.
So it does look like he's hooking the lane quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Initially, it looked like it was purple. I don't think it's going to be a purple hammer hooking that much.
He looks at it and picks it up.
Okay, another comment in here. CTF has changed the name of the Canadian Mixed Championships to the Canadian Championships. I did not know that. I did go this year. I did go to Kitchener, Ontario. I bowled a squad just to get up there and bowl a tournament, bowl something different outside of town. It was a pretty good tournament. Lots of people from all over Canada. Almost 7-10. Yeah, looks like Graham is trying to stay away from the blob.
Yeah, more than likely that it's so flat out there that you have like no miss room. Once you get into the pattern a little more, you have some variance getting it out there. Blagojevich shooting this spare, just gets the 2 out of that.
I will say, just looking around, I'm starting to see a lot of people coming up light. You know, I think that was Zach over there on 43.
Yeah, and Jung was just up on 43 previously, and he did the exact
same thing. Yeah.
Nicholas Blagojevich, body language wasn't great. Another 4-pin. Seeing a lot of 4-pins as well. Sly. Just didn't get it to the right quite enough.
Yeah, Darren split two, came up light. It's almost like nobody's lined up right now. They're either coming up light or they're punching through the face.
Yeah, and their body language says it all. Most of them are showing you, right, as they release the ball, that they do not like it.
Yeah, so gotten out of range there on 41.
Looks like our women are getting underway now for game 2.
Yeah. So yeah, they had a couple minutes of downtime. It looks like they had a name issue with the lane skip in there, but they're underway.
Sly picking up his spare.
So far right now, the only bowler that I'm seeing that looks comfortable is Mitch Hupe.
Yeah, he's on the pair that seem to have given people issues this week.
And he's making it look easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's another ball here. We're going to flip over here to Mitch. Actually, we'll let him throw this one. We'll come back to him after. We'll watch Sly. One of the chat favorites. Nice shot from Sly. Yeah, so I didn't go to Mitch. He was on the front 5 and he just 4-pinned. But as far as body language and line-wise, he's making it, he looks like he's comfortable. Watch Graham throw this one. We'll head back down to the women. See who we've got on that. Okay, so looks like we've got Jad Cote currently sitting in 3rd. And she has a pretty healthy lead of about 130 pins over Mayen LaChapelle in 4th place. So as I mentioned before, we're going to be looking at those top 3 and then that 6 cut line to see the team. Nice shot from Felicia Wong. Yeah, I can tell you the atmosphere in here is definitely different than the previous 2 days. With only the top 12 in each, there's actually some concourse space. There aren't 10 million bowling balls laying around. You can actually get up and walk around.
Yep.
But there are still quite a few people here watching.
Yeah,
it's just not as crazy. It was insane here the last 2 days, actually 3 days.
Oh yeah, as it always is. Slowly people start trickling their way in. They like to sleep in when they're not bowling today, but do like to stop by and check out the action.
Yeah, because definitely, I mean, when you come and plan for this trip, you're planning to stay for the whole time. You know, people check out of their hotels this morning, you know, and like you say, they slowly work their way to the bowling alley. It's difficult when you start at 7:45 a.m. Some people want to get a little bit of sleep, then make their way here.
Tough frame there for Jad Cote.
Southern, is that Maya in the Southern Ontario shirt?
Yes. It's good. No, just gets too high. It's leaving the 610.
Yeah. And I've mentioned it before, lane 56, Miranda Panis. She's one to keep an eye on. Nice shot from her. She seems to like this house and gets along with it very well. So I think what I'm going to do is If you happen to see Guillaume, flag him down.
Okay.
Because I want a printed score sheet. Yeah, that's true with 90% of the field from Ontario Quebec. Many might be hitting the road today and not saying that's true. I do know quite a few people from Ontario are sticking around. They want to watch. I'm figuring we're probably going to be wrapped up by 2 o'clock. But that some of us like me, Kurt, Darren, you know, we've got a 9-hour drive home. 8.5 if you don't hit traffic.
Yeah. Yeah, not the best this time of year. The sun goes down early. A lot of night driving.
Okay, so Austin is here. Anyone have a backstory on Kevin Maurice? I've never seen his name before.
Yeah, so Austin, I'm very unfamiliar with Kevin Maurice myself, but talking with Graham Fogg, I believe he bowled for many years, and he's a very good bowler, and he just kind of took a break from it and decided to come back recently. So he threw his, he came out here and gave it a shot, and he's lighting it up.
Let's come back over here. Mitch Huppé, Darren Alexander. So Mitch is on a 279 pace.
Frankie figuring out a little bit.
Yeah,
Francis his frame since the first.
He's got that right lane figured out.
Yeah.
He's struggling on the left. So Caro Nadeau, he did the junior team in 2012. Made the tier the same year, ended up taking some time off, started family. Yeah, we see that quite often.
He throws it really good. Yeah, I do agree with you, Austin. I mean, all our bowlers here really do. Darren Alexander leaving a 10-pin off an open frame. He's in the 9th. He managed a 189 the first game. He's hoping to improve off of that. I think Mitch also had it says 189. So Mitch will improve off of that as he is looking for a 279. Frankie here on his tough lane. He's had 9 spare ever since the first, so hopefully, see, the body language, again, says it all. It's another split on this lane.
Okay, so here we got 48, Mitch Huppé, making this pair look easy. Nice shot from Mitch.
Adam Joden leaving just a 2-pin there. Mitch Huppé, 10th frame.
He asked it to wheel, and it wheeled.
All you gotta do is ask.
I wish it was that easy. Okay, so this looks like some okay timing here. We're gonna stay with Mitch and watch him finish out. And then we'll head down to the other pair of men. I think they're in the 9th frame. So we'll be able to catch the end of their game as well.
Perfect. Looking around at some other pairs that we don't have covered here, I do see Zach Wilkins will be stepping up in the 10th on a 5-bagger.
Yeah, he's on 45.
Yes. off the double in the 10th, so Mitch on 5 in a row now. Looking to finish it off for 279. What ball is Mitch using, Art asks. Let me see if I can get a look at it. I haven't paid too much attention to it. Looks like an absolute power at first glance. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, he pulled that one in a little bit. So he's going to be 278. So far, that's the high game that we've been seeing.
Yeah, I believe it's an absolute power.
Okay, so scores are up. So click that link at the top. I'm going to bring it up really quick here, see where we're at. So this is after game 1. So we've got Graham Fa, Mitch Hupé, Zach Wilkins, Francois Lavoie, Darren Alexander, Nicholas Blagojevich, Jordan Jung, Kevin Maurice, Israel Potter. I don't think too much changed on that.
No.
On the women's side, we still, it looks like Felicia bowled a good game. Miranda Judd.
Yeah, it's looking like Zach Wilkins is still 164 pins safe of Francois Lavoie. Darren made a little bit of a move. He's 5 pins back of Frankie.
I'm still going to see if we see Guillaume, if he'll print out the scores. You can click on each bowler and still see their scores, but the standings are in there.
Yeah, hopefully we're able to do that for you. That way we can bring you the standings faster than they will upload online.
Yeah, so Mitch 278.
Darren Alexander, second shot in the 10th is just doesn't finish, so he leaves the 210 here.
You know, and over here we got Francois. He's finishing on the right lane, which he has been bowling fine on. It's the left lane that's been giving him troubles.
We also just saw Zach off to the side there on 46, sorry. So he finished out his game
246
on the back 8 for 246. So
248.
248. Yeah.
Okay, so Francois threw the second and the 10th. He's going to throw one more for 195. He's running back here. It looks like he's going to ball change.
So Frankie will hold his lead on Darren Alexander as Darren only manages a 186 that game.
All right, let's come back here. We'll update you on what Francois throws.
Sly, second shot in the 10th. Looks like he likes it. Oh, and the 10. Just flat.
Yeah, Sean, the ball, it's not all black. Don't think it's an Ion Pro. Got Nicholas Blagojevich. He's getting in deeper too.
Sly picks up his spare, and on our pair in front of us, Francois Lavoie does strike out to shoot a 195.
Yeah, he ball changed on that, still struck. But it's not the right lane he's worried about. The left lane's the one that's been giving him problems. Okay, so what do we got there? Sly
219. And a 228 for Graham Fa, 225.
Okay, so our ladies are a frame or two behind, so this will work out. We'll watch 41 here finish. If it is posted 256, not 258, it is possible that we did not read it right on the screen. We're kind of reading it off what you see. And sometimes the camera, it might be tough to differentiate a 6 and an 8.
Yeah, well, we're not on the pairs that are just in front of us. We're reading it the same way you guys are by looking at the screen. So it can be a little tough.
So I believe, was this Kevin Maurice here on 41?
Yep.
Yep.
I like it.
Looks like there's a few people in the chat following him as well. Thanks for tuning in. If you are just joining us, we are live here at Laurentian Lanes, Montreal, Quebec, Canada for the 2025 CTF Canadian Team Trials.
Kevin Maurice's second shot in the 10th strikes there, so he's on 4 in a row. Looking to close out this game with a 2:27. Just looking around, I'll try and give you guys a couple other scores. I see Christopher Gutierrez with a 177, Israel Potter only a 147, and Jordan Jung a 162.
Okay, let's head back down here to our women. Good morning, Joe. Thanks for tuning in.
Good morning.
Being in the chat, supporting as always.
Miranda Panis on the double, keeps it going with her first shot in the 10th.
Looks like she can go off for 225. Yeah, definitely a lot quicker pace today with only 2 on a pair versus 4 or 5. So things are moving along pretty good.
Yep, some of our men are getting underway with the start of their 3rd game. So going pretty quickly this morning.
Yeah, and that's one thing too. So what's going to happen here, 5 games, and then the 6th game, they will just put them on the lanes in their position. If you want to call it a position round, but there are no bonus pins. It's not match play. It's still just overall score. So once we're all done that 6 games, we will take a short break. I will be cutting off this stream, and then the next stream will be for the finals. I have it listed as for noon. I do not know what time it's going to be at. I figure it's probably going to be an hour, maybe 45 minutes after everybody's done bowling. They get the official scores. The leader has to pick the pattern. They have to dress a couple pairs of lanes. They have to warm up and still bowl, maybe an hour or so. So that noon, it could change. I'm thinking with the way we're going here, it might even be a little bit earlier than that, which would be nice. I'm thinking maybe even 11:30, but I will try to update you guys at the end of the video. We are up to about 250 live viewers. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Always got to give a shout out to the sponsors: CPM, Canadian Preferred Moving, Atlas Canada, Dexter, Buffa Bowling Distribution, Sport Canada, and FANA. Yeah, and John 240 watching. More likes is always good. Hit that like button.
Yeah, you may be right there, Robbie. That Mitch may have been throwing the attention star S2. Has that gray in it and the red, similar color scheme, so I made a guess. But yeah, you may be correct.
Yeah, and sometimes, so the concourse here and even the approaches are fairly dark in this bowling center. The lanes are okay. I mean, the cameras make it look all even, but it's darker. It's tough to make out what people are throwing, just because the lighting in here is not the best. Yeah, so if you are here in the chat, let us know where you're watching from. Yesterday we had some pretty interesting international locations. Let's see if we got any new people. If you're new here into the chat, tuning in. Let us know where you're watching from. Guys like Joe Kayak, Artie, we know where you're at. We just want to see our new viewers. Okay, so what did Miranda finish? She was it 226? 225. 138 is that for Jad Cote?
Yeah.
Maya Conway 189. Felicia Wong looks like she can go off for 237. Got James Douglas tuning in from Germany. Thank you for tuning in.
Wow, thank you.
I'm sure. I know we had Arnold Chan in here. He was Hong Kong.
Strike for Felicia. She likes that one.
So we've had some good international viewership here. We always appreciate that. Okay, I think Felicia's just yet grabbing her ball, stepping up on 58. Yeah, we got from Niagara region, Monterrey, Mexico, Buffalo, New York.
Awesome.
I recognize that name, Adam Joswiak. You were in here yesterday chatting. I believe you've bowled some of the player tour stuff. I think I've seen his name around there.
Yeah. Yep, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Florida, or Florence, South Carolina. Jumped on the phone and hit the like button. Say good morning, back watching on the TV. Thanks, Sheldon.
Wonderful. Thanks, Sheldon. Thanks for tuning in.
See, that's all it takes. Okay, so we're just waiting for Felicia to finish her 10th frame here. Looks like she's going to go off 237 with a strike. All right, nice finish from her. All right, come back down here. Oh, flipped over just as Nicholas Blagojevich missed a 9-pin. So it looks like we've got Nicholas Blagojevich. Is it Adam Joden?
Yes, Adam Joden here.
I believe we have, who are we going to have again here? I believe we got Kevin Maurice.
Kevin Maurice and Mitch Hupe.
Mitch is on 50. Okay. We've got Greg tuning in from Finland.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, and Adam, Felicia is a good player. She's been around the game a long time. She's got that experience. You see her out on the PWBA tour, and her experience is showing this week. All right, we saw 278 out of Mitch last game. He started spare strike.
Can't get the 7 to go. It was dancing for him, but
It wanted to fall. We got some NYC. So we've got Greg, it's from Ainesburg, Finland. He wanted us to say it.
that's what happened, yeah. From New York City. Awesome.
Yeah, a few of us in here from Winnipeg. Yep, Austin. Another no name around the Team Canada field. And I believe your name was mentioned by Frank Buffa in his speech yesterday, that you, I believe it was Austin, Mitch, and Nathan Rouet-Lejoie went over to
Qatar.
Was it Qatar, Dubai? for a tournament over there. And, you know, as Frank said, when you wear that Team Canada logo, you're well received internationally. Saying what a great tournament was.
Nicholas Blagojevich, good shot. Trips out the 4. Kevin Marie, she's come up light a couple times on that lane there. First split he's left though.
I'm just trying to see where Zach is. I don't think we have Zach on camera. He'll probably be on next game. We've got Darren, I think Darren and Francois.
Zach
Okay.
is on lane 39.
Yeah, we're just gonna watch Nicholas here. Let's come back over here. Let's see if
Zach should be on our low end pair here.
I think he's on 43, 44. Or no, because it wasn't he on their last game?
Yeah, Zach should be on 39. So he should be going with Israel Potter here. Israel's delivery. And 10 back.
Yeah, Zach is on 39 and 40. So yeah, Adam, they look pretty tight right now. I think that oil's moving around pretty quick and that block is dragging down. A lot of the guys are still staying in. They're just keeping it tight. They're not really getting it past out 12 or so. I'm just looking. It looks like Francois is making a little bit of a comeback here. He's got 5 in a row there. He's on going to be going up on 41. So Francois has had a little bit of a rough start, if you'd like to call it that. But looks like he has gathered himself.
Zach's ball didn't finish there, and he does look a little surprised that it didn't. A little confused.
Yeah, Joe, you'd know that if you're Canadian, you get well received anywhere. Joe has spent a lot of time on Team Canada, many, many years. International experience and still doing it. I've seen your name in some of the U.S. stuff as well.
Frankie keeping it going with the strike in the 6th.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Frankie. You know, as we mentioned, he did start. So the men's scores are up.
And it looks like
if you click that link, I'm going to bring it up here in 1 second. Okay, so the men's scores are up after the 2 games here. Grams still leads the way. Mitch Hupé, Zach Wilkins, Nicholas Blagojevich. Francois did drop. Darren Alexander, 6th place. So Darren's only, 14 pins behind Francois.
yeah, the Darren and Francois are close, but Nicholas Blagojevich jumped them both this last game.
Yeah.
Put himself in 4th. Now Darren, although still in the top 6, he's safe about 140 pins or so of Jordan Jung.
Yeah, there's a big gap there. You know, right now the 4, 5, 6 are close, and they're still 100 pins behind Zach Wilkins in 3rd. So these 4, 5, 6 guys, Nicholas Blagojevich, Francois Lavoie, Darren Alexander, if they want to make that final match, they got to put some games together here, and Jordan's got some making up to do as well.
We have Darren Alexander here on lane 41. Beautiful shot. It's a double for Darren. He seems to be having an okay game here.
Yeah, and then you're mentioning some Israel Potter fans in here.
Sent the messenger right in front of the
Yeah,
tent.
he went 256, 147. So that 147 dropped him back down. Oh, trips out the 4-9 for Frankie. Yeah, there's a comment in there. It looks like he's throwing the heater. It does look like he's now throwing it a little faster than he typically does. And we are on game 3. Forgot to change the graphic. So this is game 3 of 6. And if you are just joining us, we're live here at Laurentian Lanes in Montreal, Quebec, Canada for the 2025 CTF Canadian Team Trials. This is the top 12. We started with 67 men and 37 women. Cut to the 50% on each side, and now we're at 12. Top 6 are positions on Team Canada, and then the top 3 will go to a final stepladder match for a gold medal.
Real Potter. Bit of a split there. Let's see if he can't shoot that 3-pin into the 7. Pick that up.
Yeah, the big race is going between 6, 7, see who makes the top 6 on the team. That is right.
Yeah.
Frankie 9 pins. All right, let's head back down to our women. And yeah, that's one thing too. So they're going to bowl the 5 games, and then they're going to seed them just by their position. There's no points or anything, bonus points for match play or anything. But it will give us the opportunity to see those positions, be close, see what's going on and who's going where. Because I think there are going to be some tight races.
Certainly, yeah. For that 6-7 race, Jordan Jung is going to need to put together a couple big games here, get a little closer to Darren Alexander, as we're almost halfway through our block already.
Yeah, and we are updated on our women's side. So let's just bring this up here. So Felicia Wong's still leading the way. She's got a pretty big gap over Miranda Panis, Jad Cote, Mayen LaChapelle, Jennifer Basana, Cody McMaster, and Alex Ann Auclair. So there's 23 pins between Cody and Alex Ann. And then there's another 40 pins down to Corinne Bouchard. So it looks like on the women's side, there is going to be, as of right now, a close match for that 6th, 7th.
Yeah, it's going to be a tighter race in the women here. But yeah, Alexandra Claire only back about 23 pins, I believe.
Yeah. And I mean, really, when you're bowling 5 games in this, 23 pins is nothing. That can be made up pretty quickly. You know, as we saw yesterday, we were looking at what we thought were close to the final standings, and you know, someone did not bowl well the last game, which we didn't see coming, and knocked them right out, and we thought someone was out and they were in. And I think that's going to happen today. It's going to be so close it'll be too tough to call.
Mayen with a nice strike, or sorry, nice shot, but the 10 does not go, wraps around.
Nope.
Jessica Lee picking up her spare.
Yeah, good showing for Jessica Lee. She's been consistent all week. She was always hovering in that 7th, 8th, 9th spot. I think she was 7th for 4 or 5 games in a row, just holding that steady position. The scores I see, she's still 51-81 right now. The cut is 52-48, so she's got a little bit of ground to make up. You string together a good game, and anything is possible. Yes, looks like Frankie is still on, what's he on? He's still on a 279 pace. Yeah, there, Jessica. Yeah, she did have a bad second shift, average 161. I think a lot of the women, I'm not sure what the average was on that second shift, but it was pretty low.
Yeah, I would guess the average score of the women that shift was probably under 180.
Yeah, so
around there.
So even though you're looking to say it's 161, the average of the field, that squad was pretty low. Lower than the other ones anyways. Surprising miss from May there. On 55, missed a 3-pin. All right, so we're up to about 270 viewers. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you are just joining, this is game 3 of 6 of the top 12 here at the 2025 Canadian Team Trials.
Stepping up here now on lane 56, Kathleen Bouchard, currently sitting in 7th place, looking to make a move this game.
8th place.
8th place, my apologies.
Yeah.
And then she gets that one out to the right.
Yeah, she's about 70 pins out of the team cut after 2 games. Okay, so Frankie threw the first one in the 10th. We're going to watch Karine shoot the spare, and then we're going to head over to Frankie. Okay, so Frankie, Francois Lavoie, he is on a 279 pace. Threw the first one in the 10th. Here comes his second. So yeah, he's throwing that heater down there. 10 pin. Still going to be in the 260s. Okay, so was that Israel Potter, 203.
Looks like Darren Alexander struggling a little bit again this game with Frankie's big score. He'll pull away from him a little bit.
Yeah, we got Mitch Houpe over here too. He's on a 250 pace.
I got eyes on Jordan Jung. It looks like he will not be making up any pins on Darren, so.
Yeah, Frankie didn't even try that. He tried a different ball, so he's going to be 267.
Zach Wilkins with the strike.
All right, so Zach 212. Yeah, 212 for Zach.
Darren Alexander coming up here looking to salvage a 190 game. Gets the first strike.
Let's come back over here. We do have Mitch on a 250 pace, but I don't see him. He probably went to his bag. I think he went to grab something else.
Nicholas Blagojevich. Last shot here in the 10th is Phil Ball. Misses the head pin. 223 game for him.
Yeah, Mitch went and grabbed another ball. Looks like Graham Fa will be in the 230s. 45.
So Darren Alexander does not get the strike for the second shot in the 10th, but he's still going to be okay when it comes to Jordan pitching up to him. Jordan Jung finishes game 3 with 141.
Okay, Darren's looks like 182, 184. Yeah, 184 for Darren.
Mitch strikes with his ball change.
Yeah, 250 for Mitch. Okay, who do we have up here? That's Adam Joden, correct, on 48. watch him finish this out, and then we'll head back down to the women for a minute.
Adam Joden strikes, finish off his game with a 196. So we're gonna hop on down to the ladies now, see how they can finish out. Looks like they're about 7th or 8th frame here. Karine Bouchard, shoot her spare. I believe she finished in 7th or 8th last year, so she's looking to get past that and get herself into the top 6.
Yeah, so that wraps up game 3 on the men's side. We're still in game 3 here on the women. Between games, they had a couple minute delay, so they are 2-3 frames behind. I'm not sure that too might be possible. I think the women might bowl a little slower as well. It seems some of them are taking their time. I mean, you can't blame them when you're in the top 12 at an event like this. You only got 2 people on a pair. You can take a couple extra seconds on the approach or getting you ready, doing your pre-shot routine. But it's not like it has been. You know, throughout the week here, they always ended up being a full game or more behind. Yeah, please like the stream if you haven't already. At 68 likes, let's get it over 100.
Absolutely. We've got 286 of you in here. Just want to thank you once again for tuning in. We are here at the 2025 Canadian Team Trials. This is our final day, and we are watching our final 12 bowlers compete to try and earn one of the 6 spots on both the men's and women's national teams. So thank you to Laurentian Lanes here at Montreal, Quebec, and thank you to our sponsors, CPM, Canadian Preferred Moving, Atlas Canada, Dexter, Bufa Bowling Distribution, Sport Canada, and Fana Sportswear.
Yeah, and back to the teams too. We also had, so the youth, under 21 still qualifies at this event. While there are no finals for them or anything, they still do form a team.
Yes, so we announced the winners. Their gold medalist for the men is Adam Joden, still bowling here today. A silver medal for Mathis Blanchette, and a bronze medal for Matthias Bibot, and the 4th team member will be Rainer Reyes.
Yeah, so they have not announced, well, we can't announce the top 3 women yet because they are still bowling here in the top 12. So on the youth team, it will be Jade Cote, May Yen LaChapelle, Alexandre Auclair. Between those 3, we don't know their positions yet on who's gold, silver, bronze because they are still bowling. And then rounding out the team in 4th is Samantha Cirillo. And I believe Samantha was a team member last year as well.
Yes, she was. 3 of the 4 are team members. Again, Alexandre Auclair is the new one jumping in this year.
I think she was on the team last year, wasn't she?
Alexandre?
Yeah.
No, it was, what's her name? Sorry, Kirsten Jolly was the other junior last year. I don't believe Alexandre bowled trials last year. She may have been on the team in previous years.
Let's double check that. Yes, it may have been a previous year.
Our men are just getting underway with their 4th game.
Yeah, and then in there, if you look at that, there is a senior and 1 woman senior. So they bowled. The senior team is not qualifying at this event. They were on the standing sheet as being a senior.
Yeah.
Just because of their age, they classified that. In my opinion, they shouldn't even designated that. It's a you know, the adult team.
Yeah,
you know,
they're only eligible for the adult team at this event. They should just be listed as adult. But
yeah. So we're gonna see. Let's see if green makes the 7-10. Bounce it.
ooh, sent it that way, just into the pit deck.
All right, let's come back over here. So in regards to the senior team, they do not qualify at this event. They qualify at what is now the Canadian Championships in June in Winnipeg. You know, it is a little bit confusing that that designation was on there, but it has no relevance. Chris Gutierrez strikes. Got 5 strikes here on 47 and 48, something we haven't seen yet. Seems some bowlers have struggled a little bit on this pair, 47 and 8.
Great shot there by Israel Potter.
Okay, so we have, we'll watch Kevin throw this ball, and then we'll bring up the score. So hit that link at the top of the chat, bring you to the scoring page. Men's are updated after 27 games, which would be 3 here today. So Graham Fa, Mitch Huppé, Zach Wilkins, Francois Lavoie bumped back up ahead of Nicholas Blagojevich, Darren Alexander. So Darren still has about 150 pins on Gutierrez. Oh, so Gutierrez is up to 7th.
Yeah, so Darren's still safe, 160 pins or so. Jordan Jung with a 140 that last game drops down to 9th place.
Yeah, dropped him 2 spots on that. So we are going to have to keep an eye on that. But like I say, with 150-ish pins and 3 games to go, that is quite a bit to make up. But Gutierrez has strung together a couple good games in other blocks. And we'll just have to see what he does. And obviously that depends on Darren as well. Strike from Darren. You know, Nicholas Blagojevich, there's still 40, 50, 60 pins between Blagojevich and Darren Alexander. So while we do have some gaps, you know, it is possible that things can change with 1 bad game and 1 good game.
Kevin Maurice, spare. So he started with 3 strikes and now he has a spare.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby in the chat, he seems to think the top 6 are set. I'm just saying
It's
not quite yet.
It's bowling. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
I think if Darren Alexander can have a couple big ones here, he can make that gap big enough with less and less games to go. He could be safe.
Yeah. And then as far as the top 3 on the men's side, Graham, Mitch, and Zach, Francois is about 160 pins back. That is, when you're talking bowlers at this level, 160 pins between 3 games, that's quite the feat to make up. So we'll keep an eye on Francois. He had a rough start. He had an excellent 3rd game. And we'll keep an eye. He is on 45 and 6 just off camera. It looked like he went spare, spare, strike, strike. So he's going to have to string quite a few together. On the women's side, we're still not done the 3rd game. So we're in the 4th game of men here, right?
Yep.
I'm slow on graphics today, sorry. So this is the game 4 for the men. On the women's side, they're still wrapping up game 3, so their scores haven't been updated.
Israel Potter for his spare. He's going to cover that one. And Goots on 47, doing pretty much the same thing as Kevin Maurice that he's bowling with. They both had front three and a spare. See if he can get back on that strike train. That one did not want to finish.
Yeah, so someone commented in here, we were talking about Alexandre Auclair. She had an injury last year during the trials. She was on the team the previous year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I could have sworn I saw her on at one of the tournaments representing, and I was mistaken, it was the year before. You know, sometimes time flies in these tournaments and you watch them and you follow these guys. Sometimes you lose track of time.
Oh, Goots chops that one, hitting straight back the 2-8, missing the 4-pin.
Yeah, and then Sean in the chat saying classic Manitoban, hooking at his spare attaboy Izzy. So we had this in the chat yesterday. Do you hook at your spares or do you throw it straight? Let us know. If you're from Manitoba, it sounds like you hook it. Yeah, Sly Young just picked the 3-9 off of the 3-6-9-10 after the front four.
Darren Alexander with a strike there. That's a triple for him.
All right, let's come back over here down to the start. We got Mitch Houpe again. So we got left side spare, hook, right side straight. So I'm assuming you're right-handed.
Joden with the strike. That seems to be the bad hits for a lot of these guys. Just the ball kind of quitting down at the pins and leaving something like a bucket, some kind of bucket combination. There we go. Darren Alexander in front of me, hyping up that strike. He thinks he's got away with one.
Yeah.
It's on a 4-bagger.
I'm just waiting to see that ball come back. You know what ball that was that he was throwing?
Was it like pinkish purple?
Yeah, pinkish purple.
I think it's called, I think it's an Ebonite Big Time.
Yeah. Okay, so John mentions Darren with a purple. So yes and no. Currently throwing a purple, no. Darren is now a free agent. So he has decided for this year to test the waters with some different equipment. I believe just before this tournament, like literally days before, he punched up a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I believe 2 or 3 of the balls he registered, he had not thrown until practice day this week.
Yeah. But I know he did drill up a couple purples.
That might be it. The real one, Ebonite real one.
Ebonite real one, yeah. You know, and there have been some bowlers even on the PBA tour this year, you know, making some brand changes and all that. And, you know, they've been with certain companies so long, and sometimes different opportunities come up and you make a change. And, you know, talking about that, even Andrew Anderson was with Motive for, I think, 7 or 8 years, and he just went to Storm, like SPI 900 Global. Same thing, just before tour trials. Had to learn all new equipment, you know, all new surfaces, all new shapes of the balls, and it can be pretty tough. I think Darren has handled it really well. You know, here at the tour trials with some new equipment, he's done well. I know he's had a few frustrating games, but
yeah, He's such a talented bowler that he can throw a ball a couple times and goes, okay, now I understand the shape I can get out of it, and he knows when and where to use it.
Yeah, I do know in regards to the purple hammer, he did mention he was able to get a little deeper with it, get a little more shape out of it than he's used to. And I don't think that was a bad thing.
No, not at all. Yeah, I know he filled up a purple hammer and a black hammer. Don't believe he registered the black hammer for this event. He's got a bunch of the brands of Brunswick balls. And then I believe he also has a Motive Venom shot. But I don't think it's come out of his bag. Darren.
Okay. Okay, let's come back over here. Hold on, let's hop to the women. Oh, they just took the games down. So we were busy here talking. I didn't change over. We missed some of the women's games. Yeah, and then Rousseau to Team Motive this year as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's been a few bowlers that have made the move. A lot of these staff contracts go year start to year end, so usually they're locked in till December 31st.
I do believe Russo signed a multi-year deal with Motive, so I'm not sure how many years, but more than one. I think both changes, both guys that switch brands, Andrew Anderson and with Matt Russo, I believe both of them are going to see more success actually on the tour this year. I think both balls are going to roll great for their style of play. It's going to be exciting to watch. I love seeing guys out on tour throwing new equipment and seeing how it works for them.
Yeah, and you know, I believe with Andrew's relationship at Motive, he mentioned they did allow him a little early exit out of his contract to make the switch and have a little bit of time to practice with all the new balls prior to team trials, which was beneficial to him. I did see he shot a 300 on one of the games, so I'm sure he's acclimating pretty well to that stuff. But you know, over time, sometimes there's just runs of balls from some companies that might not match up to your style, and no matter what you do, surface-wise, layout-wise, sometimes they don't match up. So sometimes maybe exploring the waters, testing other companies, it's not a bad thing. Yeah, JD also says they also go where the pay is greater for them. That's true. You know, if anyone wants to sponsor me and pay me, I'll throw whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, we did miss a shift on the women here, so let's come back over here. Cody McMaster.
Yeah, Cody McMaster throwing a strike there to start her game. Alex Ann O'Clair stepping up now on lane 57. Rips through that ball and pin protected the 7 from going down. Looking around and see if I can get you guys some updates. Looks like Francois Lavoie is having a good game once again. A couple spares and he has a 5-bagger mixed in there.
Okay, so it looks like the women's scores are up. So let's bring this up. So Felicia Wong still on there. Miranda Panis, May Yen LaChapelle. Jad Cote, so there's only a 30-pin break there in the top 3 between May and Jad. Coming down, Alex Ann O'Clair, 53.90, and then Cody McMaster in 6th, 54.38. So there's only 48 pins there between Cody and Alex Ann for that team cut.
Yeah, so that's a real close race there as they're starting their 4th game now. So they have 3 games to make those pins and get into that number. We're halfway through, a little over halfway through our squad here today. Again, after game 5, there will be a position round, followed by a top 3 step ladder. They will have to oil as the number 1 seed gets to pick one of the 5 patterns used this week, and those will be used for the step ladder finals.
Yeah, and we have our guru of bowling knowledge in the chat, DJ Rose, has just chimed in. So we've got Russo to Motive, Andrew Anderson to 900, Kevin McCune to Rotogrip, Justin Knowles to Rotogrip, Gary Faulkner to Brunswick, Kevin Williams over to Deviate, Butters to Ebonite, Jake Peters, and Matt Sanders to Ebonite.
DJ is the man of all the brand knowledge. So yeah, a lot of those guys are going to be still throwing a lot of the same equipment. They've just changed the logos on their shirt. I know they're not going to have any touring pros with the Columbia 300 track or Radical logos. But Justin Knowles to Rotogrip, I don't believe I knew that one, so that one does surprise me a little bit. DJ, do you know how long Russo signed for? Because I did read that it's a multi-year deal.
Yeah, and Ron's asking, crazy question, do staffers get free equipment or discount or both? There are different levels.
So their contracts are all different. You kind of, come to agreements and terms, and then you sign it. So I don't know what anybody gets for free or what discounts people get, but it's all different, I believe.
Yeah. You have regional staff, you have pro shop staff, you have, these professionals are a different level than everybody else. And Adam asked, Columbia's dead track Radical. They're not dead. I just don't think there's anybody on tour that will be represented wearing their logos.
Yeah, they still will be allowed to throw those bowling balls.
Yeah, from what DJ hears, Russo's a 2-year deal.
Okay.
Wesley Lowe's also no longer with Motive.
Oh, wow. He had been with Motive for quite a while.
Okay, so just checking in here on the women deer. Did Zach go to Hammer? Zach's been wearing Hammer jerseys for quite some time, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
And I mentioned this yesterday. Love Zach's jerseys. He's always repping the Canadian colors or Canadian flag or maple leaf on it. It's always on there. Yeah, so just coming in here. Let me see, got Cody McMaster here.
I think we should pop down to our low-end pair here, the men, as they are wrapping up their 4th game. Looks like we have Mitch Huppé with a 204 and Jordan Jung, a little bounce-back game with a 207 after a couple of struggles. 227 for Adam Joden, our lone youth bowler in the final 12. Graham Faw opens in the 10th frame for a 192. And then we're wrapping up as well right in front of us here. We have Darren Alexander picking up his spare for a 233 game, trying to keep himself clear of Chris Gutierrez in 7th. Chris Gutierrez is going to be up on lane 47 here in a couple of minutes, as Kevin Maurice is going to finish on lane 48 first.
Okay, so yeah, Darren 233. So right now we're kind of keeping our eye on the men's side on Darren and Christopher Gutierrez. Kevin Maurice, though, Kevin Maurice.
Yeah, Kevin Maurice sitting just behind Goots. He's going to finish up here on lane 47. He's got the first strike in the 10th, so he's going to be able to put up at least a 230-something game here, if not more. See if he can get the second hit here.
Well, with Darren at a 233, no one's really going to gain much ground on him. And, 65, 65, where are we here? Oh, there's 160 pins basically.
So with that strike there, Kevin Maurice is going to be able to get to the 250s this game. So he'll make up a couple pins on Darren, but it is still quite a gap.
Yeah.
As we head to game 5. So only 2 games remaining to try and cut into that lead.
Yeah, like on the other side, on the women's side, it's a lot closer. You know, there's only 48 pins separating that team cut line.
And he finishes it off. Kevin Maurice with the 257 game. Also off camera, looking around for some scores. I see Sly Young with a 230 game.
Oh, it's Frankie at
Francois Lavoie, 235. Nicholas Blagojevich with a 206. And Zach Wilkins with a 219.
Okay, so, I mean, Francois has some ground to make up, but that's not enough. You know, gaining 10, 15 pins when he needs, you know, 160 isn't ideal. You know, so I mean, as of right now, after 4 games, it is looking like the top 3 are going to be Graham Fa, Mitch Houpe, and Zach Wilkins.
Yeah, the real race is going to be on the women's side.
Yeah. You know, and I mean, too, even for that top 3. All right, just got to say bye here for 1 second. Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, the race is going to be on the women's side. There's a lot more closer matches, even for the top 3. You know, there's only 30-something pins between 3rd and 4th, and then 48 pins between 6th and 7th. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that as we see it. We got Kurt back in here, just saying.
Yeah, just had to say some goodbyes. As Jordan Croskery is packing up and heading home for his 8+ hour drive. All right, the guys are about to get started with their 5th game, but I think we are going to hop back down, take a look at the ladies down here after Nicholas's shot.
Yes, the men just starting 5th game, women's wrapping up their 4th. So just looking in the chat here.
Gets the 10 to go.
Okay, so John saying wouldn't wish this on anyone, but if a top 6 bowler got hurt during the year, would 7th fill in? So no. The top 6 here are on the team, and then, well, I'm not exactly sure on that, but there are still picks. Bowlers that are not bowling here but have competed in the previous 2 CTF team trials can submit their resume for consideration to still make the team as a pick, as a CTF committee pick. So I believe.
Yeah, so what would happen is, you know, our top 6 bowlers are going to be members of Team Canada, and then the team, or CTF, is allowed to select an additional 4 bowlers to round out a team of 10. But when it comes to traveling internationally and sending a team, they never send all 10. They will pick, depending on the event, a certain amount of bowlers to send to that event.
Yeah.
So even if you're injured, you more than likely remain on Team Canada. You just wouldn't be able to be sent anywhere due to not being able to bowl.
Yeah, and then they'd fill in one of the picks. I mean, it comes down to, you have to remember, the majority of these people are not professional, except for 4 or 5 of them here. They have jobs they work. Sometimes scheduling can conflict with other events. So you need more than 6 members, so those picks round it out. And then, and yeah, because I'm pretty sure last year, I don't think Frankie, Mitch, or Graham bowled in Burlington.
No.
They did not bowl, but they were still picked. They submitted their resumes. They were still on Team Canada. They bowled some of the events. And then everybody's here at this one.
Yeah, those guys weren't able to come out last year. We had our team trials at roughly the same time, the second week of January, but it happened to be the same week that the tour season started. So those guys chose to hold their tour, the first tour event, which I believe was the Players' Championship last year.
Yeah, okay, so we are, sorry to cut you off there. We've got the men's scores in here, so hit that link that pinned up at the top. It'll take you to these. So the men's score are updated after 4 games. Still, we got Mitch Hupé. I think Mitch bumped up.
Mitch has hopped Graham for the first place spot.
Yeah, still Zach up there. Francois Lavoie, Nicholas Blagojevich, and Darren Alexander. And
looks like Kevin Maurice has hopped over Chris Gutierrez.
Yeah, there's still 150 pins, 149 pins between him and Darren. So I'm thinking that the top 6 are going to be set here between Mitch, Graham, Zach, Francois, Nicholas, and Darren. I don't think anyone's going to do 150 pins in 2 games.
Yeah, that would be a crazy swing. I can't see that happening. So we'll have to keep our eyes on the score for the ladies, because that is where it's going to be a real close race and could totally come down to the last frame to see who's going to make Team Canada.
Yeah. Which view were we on before I switched off? Do you remember?
I had put the ladies on.
You were on the ladies. Okay, let's head back to the ladies here as they're wrapping up and see what we got. Who is that on the left?
Lane 55, we have Cody McMaster.
Yeah. Who's on the scoreboard on the left?
That would be Jennifer Bassano.
Okay, yeah, she's got a pretty. It looked like she did open. She went front 5, then opened. So yeah, on the ladies' side, if you check, it's closer. And even that, Miranda Panis looks like she is closing the gap on Felicia Wong. Felicia Wong has led the tournament since game 1. There is only 60 pins between Miranda and Felicia now.
Yeah, and we have Miranda coming up here. We had just seen Alexandra Claire throw a strike for her for a triple, as she's trying to get out of that 7th spot and up into the 6th.
Yeah. So it's going to be closer on the women's side than I believe on the men's side. Yeah, and someone in there, and I believe those selected picks may be selected over the top 6. That is correct. We did see tournaments, like I mentioned. The PBA guys here that are here this week did not bowl last year. They were still picked for the team, and I know they did represent in a lot of the tournaments. So that does happen. But there are, you have to submit your resume. You have to bowl every 3rd team trial. If you do, you check out Tenpin Canada, go, all the information's in there, all the application forms. I looked that up just to double check, but all that info is in there. You know, and that's the thing too, is, I mean, it's not just submitting a resume if you didn't bowl. So previous team members can be taken for consideration as well. I mean, guys like Sly Young, I'm pretty sure when he's done here, I think he's down further out. He's not in contention to make the top 6, but he could still submit, possibly be selected, even though he wasn't making the team cut here as well. I mean, it all depends on what they take, because you got to figure who's not here that may submit a resume. Travis Colley's not here. He was on the team last year.
Yep.
Not sure if he would submit a resume or not. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head. So there's a pretty solid team, and even these guys, even Jordan Jung, so he was on the team, I believe, the last 2 years. He's going to be close. I'm sure he could submit a resume and be considered as well.
Absolutely. Even one of the guys in our chats here, Austin Ducharme, former team member, made the team last time we were here in Quebec 2 years ago. He may also submit a resume. Cody McMaster here. Gets the strike and a little fist bump.
Yeah, so it's a great tune-up for the tour season that starts soon. It is. I believe it starts in less than 10 days. We were out to dinner with Graham Fa the other night, you know, and he was saying, I don't have a break. You know, it's basically once he's done here, it's going to be less than 10 days. I believe they're heading to Delaware. So we have Austin saying in here, Nathan, he's at his wedding. Well, that's a pretty good reason not to be here, unless you want to have a bowling alley wedding. You know, I know some people have done it in the past. Yeah, we should get, let's see, get Art Oliver Jr., have him submit his resume. I don't think Artie's bowled in the last 3 years, but Artie, throw your name in the hat. Okay, let's, we'll come back down here to the men. As far as Israel, I'm not seeing him yet. He is
Going on lane 46.
Yeah, 46. Looks like he's got 4 spares to start the game. Got Jordan Jung coming up here on 48. Front 5.
Sly Young. After a split open, he whiffs on the 10 pin for another open frame after starting with the front 3.
Jordan's 5-bagger comes to an end. 5 in a row, 10 pins. And we'll come back down here. I know Zach. We'll take a look at him for a second. Let's come back down here. So we've got Zach Wilkins. Yeah, I can't read the names when they're on the Goots, Chris Gutierrez. Almost 710. Nice shot from Zach.
So Zach went front 3, split, and now he's on 3 in a row once again.
Yeah, and on the ladies' side, we've been mainly talking about the men here, but on the ladies' side too. So we did have Marissa Naylor. She'll probably send in her resume. Someone commented.
Yeah. We also think maybe Tiffany Griffith, who has been a selection the last 2 years, just missed out on the top 12 this year. She may send in a resume as well.
Yeah, and Artie says 2022 was last time. Who knows? Hashtag one more run.
Right. Art bowled in 2022 at a Classic Bowl. And Art made the team there. So, got Mitch Hupe here stepping up on lane 41. Another strike. She gave him 6 in a row.
So this is game 5, right? Yep, I'm slow. We're busy here talking. I'm ignoring graphics. So yeah, we are on game 5 for the men.
I think we should hop back down to the women as they're wrapping up their 10th frame down there.
Yeah, let's see who's got what.
So we have Cody McMaster with a 183 game.
Okay, that's not going to help her.
Jennifer Bisana with a 241.
Okay, so Jennifer Bassana currently sitting in 5th, so that will help her out. Was Alex Ann on this pair?
Yes, we have Miranda Panis and Alex Ann O'Clair.
Okay, so really right now it's between, we're looking at Cody McMaster and Alex Ann O'Clair. So Cody, was it 183?
Yeah.
And then I'm just trying to see, it looks like 74, 94.
She can go out for 34, I believe.
Or 20, 24. Or no, is that a, yeah, it is a strike. So yeah, Alex Ann O'Clair is on a 2:34 pace if she were to strike, which that would close that gap. So like we were saying, on the men's side, we think it is pretty much set in the top 6 and the top 3. On the women's side, it's a little more of a toss-up right now. There goes Alex Ann. Yeah, a little bit high. Gets nice, got that 9-pin out of there.
Yeah, that pin makes this spare tricky, so.
Yeah, especially on these sport patterns where you don't have a lot of hook or you're not hooking at your spares. It's tricky to get it out. So just leaving the 3, 6, 10 is definitely beneficial for that spare. But even that with her, with having a game in the 2 teens, you know, that's going to make up 35 pins or so, and she's 48 down on Cody McMaster.
Yeah. This is just game 4 for the girls, so they will have 2 full games remaining. So she's got that gap closed. It'll get real exciting down to the wire here.
Yeah, so even though the graphic says game 5, this is on the women's end, wrapping up game 4. You know, Corinne Bouchard, you know, she was about 25, 30 pins behind Alex Ann O'Clair as well.
And that one just hung out there, so she's only going to get a 5 count, I believe, on her fill ball for a 209.
209, okay, let's come back here. So yeah, she still made up some pins on Cody McMaster at that 6 cut line. But I think when we see the results, we're still going to see Cody in 6th and Alex Ann in 7th with a lot smaller gap.
Jordan Jung here up on lane 47. Started with the front 5 and now he's got a couple of spares. See if he can get back on the strikes. Oh, breaks off the split. Almost left a 2-8-10, but fortunate enough just to be the 10-pin. And on 49 here, I want you to watch what Andrew Blagojevich is doing. He seems to be playing the same line. He was playing roughly the same line as he played lower down, but he's giving it a little bit of loft now to get that ball through the fronts a little easier and to still give him that shape down lane. We see people coming up light, a little bit of loft here from Nicholas. He's going to see that shape, but he did miss too far right. The body language says it all there.
Yeah, difficult shot. So just coming back to the chat there, we had someone asking about the youth team in the top 6. The youth team takes the top 4. So currently the youth team is Adam Joden, Mathis Blanchette, Mathis Bibot, and Reiner Reyes. Missing out on the team was Francois Nicholas, Maya Martel, Chase McVicker, London Lewis. He had made the cut yesterday. He finished 7th. On the women's side, we still have 3 youth bowling with the women, May, Yen Lachapelle, Chet Cote, and Alex Ann O'Clair. They still have to finish today. All 3 of them are in this cut to determine the 1, 2, 3. And not bowling today, but still in that 4th place was Samantha Cirillo.
Now we have Graham Faw here, just throws the strike. Graham was our leader coming into today. He has fallen behind Mitch Hupe, but it does look like Graham's gone back to the purple hammer. He is into urethane. He did not believe he was going to be able to throw the urethane today. If you listen to our interview we did with him at the end of the block yesterday.
Just take a look down there. Okay, they're in the 8th. Yeah, all the men are pacing pretty much evenly here. We got 2 pairs or 1 frame behind, and the women are We're doing it again. We're approaching almost one full game on the women behind. And that might not be a bad thing, because if they are going to order in the pair, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're going to have that tight from the 6-7 cut line on the women on camera, if we get to that. Yeah, Vince is saying there, how do you qualify or apply for next year's team trials? Any CTF member can bowl CTF team trials.
Yeah, so the best way to do it is just you can go on Facebook and like the Canadian Tenpin Federation, so you can see their posts. They always post on there when things are coming up, or their website. On their website, they have all the future events listed on there, and they'll announce when registration opens. Typically closes just under a month before our competition. And next year's event will be held in Windsor, Ontario, Canada at Rev's Rose Bowl.
Yeah, JD, looks like it's going to turn out an awesome stepladder for the men. PBA show here in Canada.
Absolutely.
Pretty much. You know, we talked about that yesterday, even with Zach. Zach's been doing well, finished 8th in PBA in points, had an excellent year. You know, the telecast, he did not go all the way, but everyone thinks and believes that Zach will have that win coming very soon.
We're entering the 10th frame here in front of us. So
Yeah.
Sly Young got the strike on his first shot here in the 10th.
Yeah, local to Windsor, Matt Wood. Think I'm going to try it next year.
Absolutely. I'm hoping there are a lot of bowlers who do bowl locally, maybe doesn't travel too much for tournaments, but want to give it a try. You know, just at home. Don't have to travel or pay those expenses, so you might as well give it a go. I see a lot of interest from those Windsor bowlers when I mention it.
Yeah, and I believe, well, you know, prices and lineages and all that can change. I believe the entry fee for team trials is $350. That includes the practice day as well. Yeah, thanks for the saying awesome job, guys, Vince. You know, it helps when you guys are in the chat here and, you know, shooting out some questions. And, you know, like I said, we don't work for CTF or anything. We're just here streaming all this. We see it as you see it on here, but it's good to chat, give some insight for the stuff that we do know. Some of the information is out there because you just tune in, you see them bowling, and, you know, asking questions, figuring out how it works. It's always good knowledge. And Nicholas Blagojevich, I'm not sure what happened there, but he got it out and it picked the three off.
Yeah, he got it way right, and got a 3 count there to start his 10th frame.
Okay, I just want to pop over here, see if we can see. I can't read the scores on there, but it looks Zach Wilkins 227. It looks funny on our monitor, and maybe Mitch Hoope's at a 257. I don't know.
Could have been, I think it says 217. We'll have to wait till those scores come in and see what happens.
Yeah, I waited to cut over there. We were talking and watching these guys, and I missed it before the score. Okay, so we got 215 for, is that Goots? And then Adam Joden, 175. That's, 3 hit back there.
So from here, Jordan Jung just made that spare to finish up his 243. So that's back-to-back good games for him after a rough start. So Jungo is back.
Yeah, someone in the chat here, Brian, saying Zach had 222.
Okay. We'll see. When those scores roll in, we'll pop that up and show you. Now, Graham does not get that hit in the 10th. So he's looking at spare strike for 196. So Mitch Hoope should still hold the edge on him in our stepladder standings.
Yeah, so another question. Who are the PBA guys that are going? We got Mitch Hoope, Graham Fa, Zachary Wilkins, Francois Lavoie. On the PWBA side, we've got Felicia Wong, Christine Johnston would be the two regular names that you've seen on the PWBA.
As the guys wrap up their 5th game here, there's going to be a slight little break as they do some math, because the last game, the 6th game here, is going to be a position round.
Yeah, so Keith is asking how many women make the team. So it's the same 6+ choices if needed. And the youth can make this adult team. It has happened in the past, happened last year.
Yeah, we had 2 last year, and it looks like we may have 2, if not 3, on the team this year.
Okay. Let's head back over here to the women. So the women are in game 5. The men just finished game 5.
Yep, you saw Graham Fogg get the strike there for a 196 finish. More than likely remain in 2nd following this 5th game.
Yeah. You know, and that's the thing too, is with some of these young ladies making the ladies team, they can also bowl the youth as well. I don't think I've seen where any events overlap, but there is the possibility for them to, they will represent the youth team, and then I'm sure they will represent the women's adult team at a few events as well.
Yes.
Depending on scheduling.
But youth bowlers will be going and bowling the Pan Am Zone Championship.
Yeah, Pan Am Zone Championships for the youth in Guatemala, August 9th to the 17th. And then on the schedule confirmed right now would be the Adult Team World Championships in Hong Kong, November 26th to December 5th. And there will be other tournaments. They just haven't confirmed them, locked them in yet. I'm sure some tournaments are probably still being scheduled. There will be more, but that adult team, the IBF World Championships, is locked in. They will be going.
So as the girls are starting up their 5th game, most of the guys are now wrapping up theirs. So I'll give you some scores. I got Israel Potter with a 191. Francois Lavoie, a 246. Darren Alexander, a 165 game. And Kevin Maurice still finishing up his 10th frame. I'll let you know when he's done there.
Yeah, okay, so we've got the women's here after 4. So as I figured, Alexandre Auclair is still down 22 pins behind Cody McMaster.
Okay.
Jad Cote in 5th, Jennifer Bassana in 4th. She is 50 pins or so behind Mayen LaChapelle in 3rd to make that top 3-step ladder cut. So click that link at the top of the chat. It will take you to the standings. Standings are updated, and you can see that. I think once we get down to the last game, it's going to be a little more tighter on the women's side than it is the men's side, with Alexandre only, what did I say, 21 pins behind?
Yes, with their 2 games to go.
Yeah.
So sitting on that cut line for the men was Darren Alexander with that 165 game. Not great, although he was safe about 150 pins of Kevin Maurice. And Kevin Maurice is finishing up his 10th here, and he has a 195, so he's made back about 30 of those pins.
Okay. So with 1 game to go, he's got about, what, 100 to make up?
Like 120.
120, so that's probably not going to happen. So we're thinking here, our men, it's looking like the top 3 is going to be Mitch Graham and Zach Wilkins. I don't think Francois Lavoie is going to catch them. There's too big of a gap. Nicholas Blagojevich and Darren Alexander. It's looking like, as of right now, that's going to round out your top 6 for the team cut. And on the women's side, we still have 3rd and 4th is still possibly up for grabs. And same with the 6th and 7th for the team cut. So are they, what's going on here?
Alexandra Claire,
okay.
spare.
Yeah, she was off the approach. I didn't see her.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen as soon as they are done this 5th game, they will tally the scores and they will just position them on the lanes in the order they are in currently, if you want to call it a position round. There are no bonus points or match play. It's just they're lining them up for the last game in those spots. We should be able to see, we will have the top 4 on camera and then down here the bottom 4 as well. And then once that 6th game is done and the numbers are determined, we will be cutting off this stream. If you go back to the CTF homepage there is another stream for the finals stepladder. We will be doing that on a separate stream. So tune into that one once we cut off. It's listed as starting at 12 o'clock. I think it's going to be earlier than that. It's maybe 11:30.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully they can get it going early, as you know, a lot of people here have a long ways to go, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people come out of province.
Yep, and then the way that step ladder is going to work, it's just the top 3. So whoever is leading will choose the pattern. The women will choose the pattern. The woman leader, looking like right now it may be Felicia Wong. And then on the men's side, I mean, it's close. On the men's side, we don't know who the leader is going to be there, whether it'll be Mitch or Graham. Zach's down.
Now, Mitch did lead the squad on the 4th shift yesterday, so maybe he picks that pattern. I also think he may have. Did he lead the 1st squad? I'm not too sure. Okay, while they figure out our positioning for the men, the women are just about midway through their 5th game. I am quickly just going to step away and take a break and hopefully be back here for the 10th frame of this game for our ladies.
Okay, I think I'm going to do the same. We've been on here for a long time. Got to stretch my legs, grab a drink. We'll be back. Okay, I lied. So I said I was going to take a break. Stood up, grabbed a drink of water. The men's lane turned on. So it looks like current leader is going to be Mitch, then Graham and Zach. Okay, hold on 1 second here. Yeah, and 4th it still looks like Francois. And they are doing the men. So the leaders are on 49 and 50 here. Let me pop back here. Yeah, so they have done the order, looks like in reverse. I kind of thought they might have done, you know, a start on 39 would be the 1st place. Working down here to lane 50 would have been your 12th place, but they have reversed it. And I'm sure the chat is going to love this one. We have Zach Wilkins on 47 and 48. Well, we were off camera. He came in front of us and he shook his head and threw his arms up. And he's like, of course, I'm on this pair. So it is what it is. So we have Graham and Mitch, Francois and Zach on this pair. Tom Smoke can't wait for the United States of Canada to happen. Ugh. We will not talk politics on here. I will leave it at that. And if it does happen in the chat, please keep it respectable and clean. I don't want to have to delete or ban anyone. Okay, well, you know, we're talking about Zach on this pair. This is probably going to be the pair he has the most games on this week. So hopefully he does figure it out. I'm just going to flip back over to the women here for 1 second after we see Zach throw his first ball. And he goes Brooklyn. All right, let's head back over to the women for a second. Just going to take a quick little break.
Okay, so our girls are now in the 7th frame of this game here, as our men are getting underway now with their 6th and final game of this block. Looks like we have Zach Wilkins back on the pair he started on today. His nemesis pair, he made a joke about it when he came over here. He goes, how did I end up on this pair again? And I jokingly says to him, well, if you would have bowled a little better, maybe you'd be on 49 and 50. And he had a little laugh about it. So Zach and Frankie both started here with the front 3. I think Zach should be pretty safe of Frankie's scores here to keep him in that step ladder, which thankfully for him won't be on this pair, or maybe not, because he has started with that front 4. How close are Graham and Zach here?
So Graham and Zach, there's 60, 70, 80,
okay.
80-ish pins in there. So I mean, really, and then Francois, he's 140.
But we only have the 4 games in there. We still don't have the
we don't have that 5th
last
in there.
game. As I peek over at the ladies' 5th game here, just off to my right, we had Cody McMaster, who was sitting in that 6th spot. She is able to finish out here as she throws her first shot in the 10th. It does not strike with it. 181 for her in the 9th frame. She has 8 count in the 10th. So she can clean this up. She can get to 201.
Yeah. And really, and then on with her, we're looking at Alexanne Auclair. So there's only a 22 pin difference on them. So if she's here 201, and if Alexanne must be on the high end, I don't see her from where we're sitting. If she shoots in the 220s.
My coffee has been delivered.
Yeah. So yeah, really on the women's side, we're looking at Cody McMaster, Alexanne Auclair, and then Mayen LaChapelle and Jennifer Bassana for that step ladder cut.
Strike from Echupe.
And I believe it was it the first game of this block we saw Zach and Francois as well, and now they're back here. Francois did not start well here. He's doing a little better on this pair than in the past.
Oh, Zach nearly leaving the 7-10. Well, Messenger taking out the 10, but 7 remains. Here's Graham Fa. And the Messenger comes over, but stops right in front of the 7-pin. So Graham's been making his spares here. Has yet to strike in this final game through 4 frames. No update on the scores yet, but I am thinking Darren Alexander is going to be. Darren Alexander should be roughly 130 pins safe of Kevin Murray's, which it sets the deal. It's done.
Yeah, I'm a little chilly. Had to put a hoodie on. I walked down there. Alexanne Auclair is right here. Kicked out that 4-pin on the strike. Oh, she's not having a good game. 77 in the 6th with 2 baggers. So she's going to have to take it off the sheet here if she wants to recover this. She's down 22 pins from Cody McMaster.
Cody McMaster did miss her spare in the 10th frame this game.
Okay.
Leaving her with a 189, so she did not get to that 201.
Okay.
It's helpful for Alexander. She needs to capitalize now and finish strong in this game.
Because if she's there, because what she got 77, so you can 1-0. So you can only go off the sheet for 197.
Which will cut into that. Oh, and the 5.
That was a little bit of a weird hit for a 5-pin.
Yes.
Okay, so she's going to be lower than that now.
Yeah, she was really hoping to go off the sheet because that would have given her a few pins back on Cody.
Yeah.
But now it's going to come down to the last game, whether she can beat her by that 20-something or so. Again, we have the 4 games in here, so.
Well, and that's the thing too, though.
Pins.
Yeah, like with Alexanne, if she can still get into the 180s here, add another 15 pins to that, she'll be in the about 35 pins down. That's still possible for her in the 6th and final game to make that up.
Yes, and we should have them bowling next to each other on our feature pair for that final game 6.
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll come back to her in a minute. Whoa,
that's us.
That's close. Wrong button. We haven't talked too much about these guys down here on the lower end. So these are our 8th to 12th position bowlers.
Yes. So we have Jordan Jung on this pair. Jung started the day just outside of the cut line in the 7th and started off okay, and then got a little rough in the middle, and he's put it together a couple of bigger games, but that number was just too many to overcome. I can almost guarantee he will be putting his name in as an application to be a selection for this team, and he has represented his country for the last couple of years. So I can assure you he's quite disappointed not being able to make this team this year. Thank you to all 300 of you for tuning in today. Be sure to press that like button. Let's see if we can get it to 150 likes today for our Canadian bowlers.
Yeah. And if you are just tuning in, we are here live, Laurentian Lanes, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, for the 2025 CTF Canadian Team Trials. So they got to thank our sponsor, CPM, Canadian Preferred Moving, Atlas Canada, Dexter, Wiffle Bowling Distribution, Sport Canada, and FANA.
Again, I am Kurt Ridgewell.
I'm Jeff Kovac.
And we are happy to have you here with us for the exciting finish of our team trials.
Yeah, it's been a couple long days. Of course, everybody watching, everybody that's active in the chat, we got to thank you guys. It is not easy sitting here and talking for 10 hours of bowling. You know, we do know the vast majority of the bowlers out here. Some of them we do not know. We relied on the chat for you guys to fill in, you know, friends and family of people we weren't too sure about, filling us in on some of their info and backgrounds, and you know, we thank you guys for that. These live streams aren't possible without viewers. That's why we do it, and we hope you guys all appreciate it.
And for any of those of you watching, maybe who have not competed at a team trials and have thought about it in the past, I would say personally the best way to go about it is to find a group of people from your area or some friends that you have who want to compete somewhere, and get together. Maybe you can split on a hotel room, get an Airbnb, a place to stay, and save a little money that way, splitting some costs. You know, that's what we did this year. We had 8 guys splitting a house together. Ended up being 7. There was an injury to Brock Finch, so he wasn't able to come out and compete this week.
Okay, well, we're here. I'm just going to head back over here to our women here for a second, because we are keeping an eye on these. Where's Alex Ann? So she won 26 in the 8th with a strike, so she can still go off in the 180s. And that's what she needs, because you said Cody McMaster was in the 180s?
189.
189. So if she can squeak out a 180 here and only lose a few more pins, she's still within striking distance. You know, I'm pretty much sure our guys are set.
Yeah, pretty confident in saying that the men are locked up there. Same with our stepladder final. That should not change. Looks like it'll be Mitch Hupé as your #1 seed, so he will have choice of pattern and will have to lose twice in the championship match.
Yeah, so, and then we'll have Graham and Zach, followed by Francois Lavoie, Nicholas Blagojevich, and Darren Alexander. That's the way it's looking right now. But yeah, that stepladder, it's just top 3. So 3 will bowl 2. Winner will bowl the champion, have to defeat the leader will have to defeat the leader twice. If the leader wins once, it's done. And the leader, overall leader, will get to pick the pattern. So the men's leader will pick the pattern that the men are bowling on, and the women's leader will pick the pattern that the women are bowling on.
Yes. Being a #1 seed is such a huge advantage. You know, we saw Graham Fall leading for basically all of yesterday and most of today.
Yeah.
And being that #1 seed, not only do you pick the pattern, you just have to win 1 game.
Mm-hmm.
Graham now, as the 2 seed, would have to win 3 matches on the pattern picked by Mitch.
Yeah, and just back to the women here, I made a scoring mistake on there. So she can go off for 176, it looks like, Alexandra Claire. I thought it was in the 180. I thought it was 186. So I couldn't see the score correctly. But still, she's going to lose another 15 pins, I believe, on Cody.
Yeah, 13 on Cody. So it was already 22 pins. So now it'll be about 35 pins.
Yeah, so I'm just pulling up. If you do click that link, the men's are updated after 29 games before they started this game. So our top 6 is going to be locked up. Kevin Maurice in 7th. He's 119 pins out from Darren. So our top 6 is going to be maybe not in this order, but it will be Mitch Hupé, Graham Foss, Zachary Wilkins, Francois Lavoie, Nicholas Blagojevich, and Darren Alexander. So that is looking like your team.
What
cut.
Absolute dominant team right there. All former members of Team Canada and will be members once again.
Yeah.
And great to welcome back Zachary Wilkins, who has not represented Team Canada in a few years now.
Yep.
This is his first team trial since, I believe, 2018 or 2019.
Yeah, somewhere in there. And I mean, that's always an advantage just for the team. Because even like, look at Team USA, who they're sending. They're sending, you know, Chris Vi, Darren Tang, Jake Peters. Who else is on the team? Packy Hanrahan. So it's nice. Chris Prather, you know.
Johnson. They have a large team.
Yeah, you know, between Mitch, Graham, Zach, Francois, Darren, I would consider him, you know, a veteran on the team. He has a lot of international experience, very talented bowler. You know, like looking at it right now, it is a pretty darn good team, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
+2, and then you're, like you say, you're going to have your selections.
Yes. So they will add a couple more members to this team.
Yep.
Darren Alexander will now be representing Team Canada for his 8th consecutive year.
Yeah, let's come back over here. We were talking, I didn't realize the women switched off. So the women are going to be going into their 6th game. They were on the 5th. They just have to reorganize themselves and see. So it looks like Mitch is going to be 2-18. No, 218.
218 with a strike
With a
here
strike.
in his final shot.
Yeah, Zach Wilkins, 254. Someone in, I got to go back here.
Yeah.
Because someone in the chat, who was it? Yeah, Sean Coote said Zach's shooting 250 plus. Ding,
Yep.
ding, 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 winner, 254.
As these guys congratulate each other, right here you see Zach and Mitch embracing each other, and Frankie as well. Smiles all around. See if I can holler at Zach here. Hey Zach, you figure it out?
You get 5 tries on the same lane. I hope you figure it out.
Yeah,
there
so
you go. Good game, man.
There was someone in the chat. Sean Coote said Zach's going 250 plus before
Called
you
it.
even drew a ball.
Love it. Tell Sean thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so Sean, I just told Zach that you said 250 plus on there. He says thank you. So I think it was your luck on there.
So Zach puts together a nice game on the pair that had given him trouble this week. Graham's going to finish up here with his final shot, looking to get to a 170. There it is, 170 for Graham.
Okay, with 170, is Zach, I mean, it really doesn't matter if Zach bumps. Yeah, Zach might take him over.
Okay.
Up into 2nd, but it doesn't really matter because they're bowling each other anyways.
Yeah, it's still going to be a one-game match for them. I actually wouldn't be surprised if Mitch chooses this pattern to bowl on.
Yeah,
With Graham having such a struggle and Zach a little bit of a struggle early on it.
Yeah, because they struggled on the fresh.
Yeah, so maybe Mitch picks this one, or he picks one of the squads that he led. Sorry.
Hold on, let's go back here. Let's see what they shot here. So, yeah, but Zach went 221, 248.
Yeah. Zach did have some pretty good games here, so maybe not. Maybe Mitch picks one of the other patterns.
Graham went 196, 225, 222, 192, 196. So he slowed down.
Yeah, he finished with a 170 game.
See, now this is where it comes in as the leader. You look at that and you say, okay, Zach bowled better than Graham did to start. Hold on here. Yeah, so yeah, because Graham went 196, 225, whereas Zach went 221, 248. Now, do you look at that and say, okay, well, if I put out this pattern, Zach has a better chance. I would rather face Graham. You know,
yeah, that's going to be out of his hands, right?
Yeah.
He's going to have to pick a pattern, and those two will battle it out to see who he faces in the final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, if it was me bowling in the situation, I would pick the pattern that I lit up and bowled the best on.
Yeah.
But is that the strategy he's going to go with? We don't know.
We will find out. So we're finishing up down here. These guys, Adam Jodin shoots a 190.
Okay, so it looks like women's scores are updated.
Israel Potter just left a split on his second shot in the 10th. Goots didn't like that one, gets the hit though. He finishes his tournament with a 243 game. Great showing this week, Goots.
Yeah, so looking here.
Sly is going to finish here in the 10th frame. We are going to switch off. We're going to head over to our ladies. They are starting their 6th match now. So
yeah, and it looks like there's about 37 pins between Cody McMaster and Alex Anne Auclair for that 6th spot. Looking up at the top 3, Felicia Wong has that top spot locked up. Miranda Panis and May Yen LaChapelle. There's 70 pins between Jennifer Basana and May. So I think, with Jennifer in 4th having a 70 pin gap, I don't think she's going to make that up. Okay, so we did just have a little conversation. At some point here soon, we are going to be joined by Francois Lavoie. We might have a little bit of him now and a little bit more during the step ladder. So we'll see. Okay, so yeah, back to the women. It's looking like our top 3 is going to be Felicia Wong, Miranda Panis, and May Yen LaChapelle. We're going to be keeping an eye on Cody McMaster and Alex Anne Auclair. Because I think, yeah, so the men are all done. We just or no, there's still one or two more balls down there.
yeah, we're seeing Nicholas Blagojevich finished up with a 203 game. Still a few bowlers finishing up. I'll let you know what their final games are.
Yeah, so
Mayen right past the 9 pin.
yeah. And then coming back here, so I've talked about this a few times throughout this week about Miranda Panis. She's bowled well here the last couple ones, and it's looking like she's going to be in the step ladder. Number 2, possibly. There is 33 pins between 2nd and 3rd. It doesn't really matter. Between 2nd and 3rd, they will be bowling the step ladder there. If she wins, Felicia Wong might have a good challenge. I do want to come back to the chat. I know there was someone in French there. Yeah, about the question 30. So there is no bonus pins. It wasn't match play. It was not head-to-head. It was just bowling for overall score.
Thank you, Eric, for commenting in both languages, as Jeff and I are non français, but we will have Francois Lavoie in here shortly.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have Alex Anne Auclair on our live stream here. You will see her slide up on lane 59, though, when she is up. We are watching Cody McMaster, though, on this pair, 57 and 58.
Okay, I'm wondering, should I go up there? Should I turn the camera?
Maybe. Yeah, if we can
Yeah.
turn it or move it a little bit just so we can see Alex Anne Auclair try and catch up to that 6th spot here.
Yeah, okay. I'll be back in 1 second.
Okay. Jeff's going to run out. Make sure we get the action. So you might see a little bit of camera movement as he adjusts that, but we're not going to switch off the camera because the men are done on all the pairs we have covered. I'm going to stand up here and get some scores for you. Jordan Jung finishes his tournament with a 188. And Kevin Maurice with a 168. And lastly, Darren Alexander puts up a 214 to lock up his spot on Team Canada for an 8th year. All right, we have it turned and moved a little bit here. Still can see some Jen getting a 7 to go. Jade Cote. And she gets 2. Left a split in there. We've got Jeff back in here.
Okay, how was that turn? So we should be able to see.
Perfect.
Okay, there's Alexanne there. Okay. So on our women's side, I'm sure you were talking about this is going to be the match that we're kind of watching here for that 6th.
These 2 bowlers on screen here. Alexanne Auclair, back about 37 pins, I believe, on Cody McMaster.
Yeah, we mentioned this before too. It's like the top 6 are, you know, the Team Canada. They're on the team. If for some reason either one of these women, you know, do not make that top 6, you can always submit your resume. But on the other hand, I mean, you want the recognition. I made that team. I made that top 6.
Absolutely.
You guaranteed that spot.
Yeah. As much as these bowlers, you know, can apply and still be on Team Canada, it means so much more to them to make it by performing at our Canadian team trial. Now, Cody McMaster has been a member of our team before. She's looking to get back there. She did not compete last year, I don't believe. And as for Alexanne Auclair, she is already going to be on our junior team. So she will see some international competition, I'm sure, this year, whether she gets to our top 6 or not.
Yeah, someone in the chat here mentioned they don't know Cody, but kind of looks like she's favoring her left knee. I'm not sure. It does kind of look like she does have a little bit of a limp, a little bit of a wobble there. I'm honestly not sure. We talked about this yesterday. You know, bowling this tournament 3-4 days straight, it's a grind. It's mentally challenging. It's physically challenging. If you do have a nagging injury or something from the past, there is a good chance that, you know, it could creep up on you again.
Yeah, certainly. This is their 30th game since Tuesday.
Yeah, so Stephen Brace just jumping in. Whereabouts are we today? So we are in the 6th and final game of the top 12. Pretty much the top 3 are set. The men are already done. Let me see if their scores are up. So their scores are not up. But on our men's side, we've got Mitch Huppé, Graham Faw, Zachary Wilkins, Francois Lavoie. Just got handed a sheet from Guillaume. So yeah, here it is. Mitch Huppé, Zachary Wilkins. So Zach jumped Graham. So Mitch Huppé, Zach Wilkins, Graham Faw, Francois Lavoie, Nicholas Glebojevic, and Darren Alexander are your top 6 for the Team Canada. The finals, we will see Graham face off Zach, and the winner of that will take Mitch and have to defeat Mitch twice to win.
Congratulations to all those guys.
The gold here.
What an incredible week. That is an absolutely stellar Team Canada that we have.
Yeah, and then just around below those top 6 and 7s, we had Christopher Gutierrez, Jordan Jung, Kevin Marie, Sly Young, Adam Joden, and Israel Potter rounding out your top 12. So congratulations to those guys, and we are going to have someone mention in the chat, it's going to be like a PBA TV final here.
Yeah, it truly is. I'm sure you're going to see a PBA patch on all those sleeves.
Yeah, so we got Mitch, Zach, and Graham. You want to look at that?
Sure, I'll take a peek. All right. Cody McMaster throws a strike just after Alexanne Auclair threw hers. So Alexanne Auclair started with a couple spares, and now she's on a double. And Cody is on 3 in a row after a couple spares. So she's a frame ahead. Here is Alexanne Auclair stepping up for her 5th frame.
Shot from Alexanne. And what's going to happen here is as soon as we are done, we figure out the standings here on our top 6 and that. This live stream will be turned off and we will be starting a new one. It's already in the homepage there as on the top 3 step ladder finals. It is set to start at noon as the time on the video. It might be a little bit earlier than that. It might be 11:45-ish. Once we wrap up here, I'll try and get a better idea on the time. It might be 12 because we're approaching, 10 minutes to 11 right now. I'm figuring an hour of downtime between. So it might be noon. So what you're going to have to do is once we leave this video, you're going to have to click the next one, get back to us, and follow in. We're at 330 viewers. We hope you all join us back on that finals, because it's going to be exciting. We're going to be on lanes 49 to 52. Camera angle might be slightly different, but we'll get all the action. And we're going to have one pair of the men, one pair of the women, so they're They're both going to be bowling at the same time. You know, I don't think they'll throw at the same time, but both matches will be going on at the same time.
We're gonna get a camera down lane too to give you another look at them as they approach that foul line.
Yeah. Yeah, something a little bit different.
Yeah, I'll for sure try and get the equipment going. We'll know what equipment they're using for that stepladder final. I'll have those answers for you. Unless we have Frankie in here, because he will know it for sure.
Yeah.
Looking off to a pair that's not on the camera, just to give you some scores. I see Felicia Wong is having a good game. Started with 2 spares, now on 5 in a row.
Yeah, so Francois, he bounced back. I don't know if we're going to talk about that with him or not at the start of that squad, but he went 163, 195, 267, 235, 246, 224. So he made a comeback on that. I know he was not happy with the way he started, but he bounced back quite well. Yeah, someone there, CTF never on time. It's running these tournaments is very difficult when you have some paces of play that are different. Throughout the week, we had a scoring issue. We had, I think, 2 pairs break down. There were a few issues that really threw everything off. Yesterday ran pretty good. Today ran really well, knock on wood.
Yeah, today's running good. They did have it scheduled to start at noon, and that's when it will start, I believe.
Yeah.
They will dress the lanes. They want the pattern, I think, to sit for a little bit before they get to bowling on it.
Yeah, because we got to do that. They'll probably have some warm-up time and all that. So I'm thinking it probably will be on around noon. So I'm just trying to look. Is Alex on 59, Alexander?
Yeah, so Alexander Leclerc is on 4 in a row. Cody McMaster, after 4 in a row, got 9 in the spare. Here she is for her shot in the 8th.
10 pins.
Leaves a 10 pin.
So I'm just trying to look. What is that? 156, 70. I mean, she's still in a. She goes off at a 230 pace.
Oh, Messenger.
Almost 710. 7 Messenger over to the 10. Nice shot from Alexander over there. So that is the match we're watching, because I'm pretty sure the top 3 are going to be locked in with Felicia Wong, Miranda Panis, and May Yen LaChapelle.
Yep. 2 of those girls were on our stepladder last year with Felicia Wong and May Yen LaChapelle. We are missing Marissa Naylor this week, so.
Yeah, and we do apologize if anybody is in the chat, you're looking for specific bowlers or somebody else. This is kind of where the excitement is right now. So with this match, they're not bowling on the same pairs. I turned the camera so you could see Alexander and Cody McMaster.
Yeah, so Cody's on a couple of spares now. Alexander Leclerc has started stringing some strikes. She's going to need to continue doing so, because she does have 37 pins to make up in order for her to get to that top 6. Looks like we have about 325 of you tuning in right now. Thank you for joining us again at the 2025 Canadian Team Trials. Be sure to press that like button. I want to see if we can get those likes up there. Spread this out to other people. And again, the stepladder final will be on a separate stream, so be sure to check out that video. As you see, London Lewis, I believe, just popped in between us.
I did not notice.
Yeah. London Lewis, I believe, our youngest competitor this week at 14 years old.
Yeah, I was talking to his dad yesterday before he took off, and I said to him, I think he should be really happy with his performance this week. He did make that cut to the top 50%, which is a goal in itself, and he did that, pulled that fourth shift. Unfortunately, did not make the top 12, or did not make that top 4 youth But I think overall, as your first tournament here, 14 years old, I think it's still you take the win
10 back
when you leave. Yeah.
Alexandre Auclair.
So yeah, she's got spare 6-bagger. Cody up here on 58. Strike from her.
It's the strike in the 9th.
And that's where all the action is. Everybody is behind them.
Yep, everyone knows what's going on here in this match. We're going to see Alexandre Auclair, I believe, step up first here, shoot her 9th frame. Oh, and she gets it. This is getting real close here.
I'm trying to see what Cody has. 76 strike, so she can go off 236. She, no,
36, and
yeah, it didn't look like she got all of that one.
69. What's Alexandre's max score?
Yeah, no, she's. Oh, Cody missed that. That is
Cody
not. That,
opens in the 10th frame for a 204. Really opening the door. You see the frustration as she walks off the approach.
so I mean, Cody or Alexandre is going to be on a 279 pace.
Yes, Alexandre can go out for 279.
So I mean, really, with 37 pins, 204, 37, 241, his 242 is going to be Alexandre's number here.
Yeah. Does she even need a mark? I think Alexandre Auclair might have done it. Well, no, she needs to make up those pins, so she will, I think, need a mark.
Yeah, I think she just needs to stay clean with the mark.
Jade picks up her spare.
Yeah, sometimes my bowling math, when you get on those long strings with all that and adding them up, sometimes my math gets off. But I'm pretty sure, I think she just needs a mark. Don't quote me on that, though.
We are going to see Jessica Lee finish up her tournament first. You hear the clapping?
Yeah, no, I think it's already done. I think she just has to hit pins.
Yeah, she doesn't need. I think a spare puts her in the 240s. A 9 count, I think, gets her 230 something, which could be enough. 238.
Yeah.
So
All right, let's see what she throws here. Both of our bowling maths suck. been bowling my entire life. And sometimes when I get on, like, yeah, it's like those long strings of strikes with a spare up there. And, okay, she goes.
I want to say she needs 241.
Strikes. That's going to do it.
That'll do it. Congratulations for her. Alexandre Auclair not only making our junior team, but she's also going to make our women's team.
Yeah, in the chat, someone saying 240. She didn't even need that. But while she did, she flushed it. Great shot from Alexandre Auclair. Okay, so what do we have? 238 for Felicia Wong. Was that 237 for Miranda Panis?
Yep, a couple big games for them to finish up on.
Yeah, so in there, so you're going to see Felicia Wong, Miranda Panis, and I believe May and LaChapelle. Well, yeah, and then she washout on that.
Good spot for it.
Yeah, definitely a good spot for that.
Yep, she's in the 260s now, I believe. Yeah, so Felicia Wong's going to be our leader. She's going to be picking the pattern, and she will have to lose twice in the finals, but you can never count out Miranda Panis in this building.
Because I think, too, who would we have? That's Mayen LaChapelle and Jennifer Bassana, I believe.
Yeah, they're bowling on 55 and 56, just finishing up their 10th frames.
I'm not sure what's going on. There is some cheering going on for them. I don't know if it's close or if it's... Because Jennifer Bassana was back 71 pins. All right, lots of claps all around for Alex Ann. What a comeback.
Absolutely amazing. We knew the scores were tighter down here, and they made it exciting for the final game for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
You feel for Cody McMaster in a time like that, but she is a former member of Team Canada and may send in that resume and try and be there. She really proved herself this week that she can compete at this really high level.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just looking. I think they're in their 10th frame down. There is only one or two bowling. Be sure to click that link. Probably 10 or 15 minutes. The scores will be updated completely.
Christine Johnson throwing a strike.
Yeah,
looks like a 263 score for Alexanne Auclair.
Yep, some exciting bowling. You know, unfortunately with that Alexanne, with her bumping up there, unfortunately she doesn't get to the step ladder, but I mean that solidifies that spot in that top 6 for Team Canada. It's a pretty amazing accomplishment. Coming back, because I just want to look at her scores. So she, what'd she do? She went 222, yeah, 151, 165, 209, 174, and then comes back with a 260 game to get that 6th and final spot.
Okay, all of our ladies, I believe, are, no, looks like on lane 61, there's still a shot to be made. It's Karine Bouchard.
Oops.
A little 3 count, close out her tournament there. Not sure what the scores are down there.
Yeah, so then just coming back here, so the leaders on each side. So we're going to have Mitch will pick the pattern for the men's finals, and Felicia Wong, who led the tournament from game 1, will pick the pattern for the women's step ladder finals. So 3 will bowl 2, so we're going to have Graham Fa versus Zachary Wilkins. The winner of that will take on Mitch Hupé, and the winner will have to defeat Mitch twice. On the women's side, it looks like we're going to have May Yen LaChapelle versus Miranda Panis. The winner of that will take on Felicia Wong. You know, and again, I think we're in for some pretty good bowling. The men's side, we're going to have an all PBA final. It's going to be like watching a PBA telecast.
Yes.
And the women's side, Felicia Wong, PWBA, Miranda Panis. Don't sleep on her because she has won twice in this building. The last 2 times it has been here, so keep an eye out for her. May Yen LaChapelle, well, she has a star beside her name for being a youth. She has experience, very accomplished bowler. She deserves to be here. Her versus Miranda is going to be a great way to kick off that women's match.
Yeah, we got a lot of great bowling still ahead. Once we know what those patterns that are selected are, we're going to let you know. We'll throw those up on the screen before we get started with our step ladder final, and let you know what we're bowling on.
Yeah,
So-
no idea right now. I figure we will be on time right around noon. Even what I might do, even if it's going to be a little later than noon, I'll still go live at noon. I'll get the stream started. I'll just put up the sponsor sheet on there. We'll come in and update you guys, but It's looking like there's just 1 or 2 more balls that have to be thrown. So I think we might cut this off here.
Yeah, we'll cut it off. So just be sure to tune into that other live stream there. You can always click that notification bell on that video on our channel, and you'll be notified when we go live. Not only are you going to see some great bowling ahead, but we're going to have Francois Lavoie pop in the booth for a little bit of that step ladder final.
Yeah, be sure to catch him. So I'm Jeff Kovac. This is Kurt Ridgewell. We were live here at Laurentian Lanes, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, the 2025 CTF Canadian Team Trials. You just saw some nail-biting women's action on there, and we're in for more on the step ladders. So tune in, less than an hour. Check the homepage, get that stream. So we'll be back. All right, guys, see ya.
Peace.